Yeah, because it should pull you up on Twitch too.
I need to open Twitch. Is my Twitch up? Oh, it is. Okay, so that looks like it's okay. Doesn't look like there's a latency issue. So what I like about this is something I wanted to test independent, but not tonight, but apparently we get to, is the streaming service online. You have a single pipe from your system to StreamYard, and they're taking care of the distribution to both. Otherwise, like the way I was looking at it originally doing it was 2 OBS sessions running and doubling my
there's
upload.
your stream element. So yeah, it's over on So yeah, it should be up. Yeah, that'll work.
The generator's not. I have another app that's generating things, but it's not generating hashtags or to tagging people. So I told it to tag you. I told it to do hashtag Twitch, hashtag YouTube.
So, I mean, Geek, we can also talk about some of the games coming out.
Yeah,
in October.
Oh yeah, I'm good with that. I mean,
there are some there that are coming out. I'm just pulling up here, pulling up the stream on Twitch.
Gotta get yours up.
All right, so yeah, because there's definitely a few games I want to talk about there. Because it's just
okay. So why am I not getting notification that you went live?
On what?
On YouTube.
Honestly, bro, I have no idea.
You're live, right?
Because
I'm at your page right now.
Oh, but maybe
and it doesn't show. Interesting. I mean, you don't even show up on the. I mean, I have the link.
But I mean, it should show up.
Oh, I see what's going on. It doesn't.
What up,
it didn't do the bells.
Huh?
The notification bell's not turned on. It just.
Is it?
So one of the things that they've been talking about with YouTube is what's going on, everybody. Callie and
what's going on?
Is they're talking about how YouTube still having an issue with the smaller. If you're until you get to the 1,000 subscriber, aka followers on YouTube, sometimes notifications get messed up. So
hell, dude, I'm not even at 50, so yeah. That's why the thing is like, nah, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's what we're doing good, Callie. So one of the things we're going to be covering tonight, not necessarily right off the bat, is we are going to talk about simulcasting. I was in Swesticles or Eli's stream the other night, and they were talking about it. So I got to reading it, and then I was talking to CB about it at length, and I started Googling it and reading about it. And since Twitch has changed some of their policies, if it would hurt, take us or whatever. So we're going to look at that, but we have some other stuff we want to talk about first. Just general chit chat. Give people a chance to matriculate into the stream. So we're also testing out. It wasn't intentional. I was looking at Restream, StreamYard, and like 3 or 4 other online services that you can stream to, and then they'll split your stream out for you to whatever platforms you want to for simulcasting. And I forgot to uncheck Twitch from a dashboard check. So we're going to get testing on that one, which is fine.
It's not like it hurts anything, dude. I mean, it's all part of just going with it, man. I'm letting it rip.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Callie woke me up this morning at 6 a.m., dude. She set up she got a new PC monitor set up. Looks pretty dope. So
you wanted to be up anyway. It's fine.
I was already up. I have to be up by 6 to get the kids dressed, and then
because
for school at 6:40.
Unlike our area, your school's more closed.
Yeah, no, ours are up. Yeah, Now,
Yeah, hard
if we get a little bit of snow, we close. But
yeah.
nah, heavy rains, no, we won't close.
I mean, Hurricane said otherwise.
Yeah,
Hurricane said no, bro, not today.
yeah, not today. So we're doing that, and then one of the bigger things that we need is we need a
Yeah,
name.
we still need a name. We haven't figured that part out.
So we haven't figured out what
Yeah,
to.
we definitely do need a name. Like, what would you even think, like, that we would even make it, dude?
I mean, I still like our original press what to join, but I don't want to carry that over.
Kind of like run back with it,
Yeah,
like that's how you feeling for it.
yeah. So, uh,
Like, I get where you're coming from though.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of history on that one. I don't want to come back and say anything.
Yeah, it kind
Anyone
of bites you anyway.
Yeah.
But it
Especially
reminds me.
since what we're doing now is we're not isolating it to a podcast brand. We're leaving that within the realm of the streamer as well. That's why we're simulcasting to your channel and to my channel. So we don't have that that issue to hurdle or whatever to overcome. But yeah, so we got to figure out a name because it's going to be a mix of like technology, like always. I will have a separate chit chat, just chatting stream, dedicated to just tech talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I mean, we'll catch some highlights and everything.
Yeah, because I understand that where you're coming from too. Like, I don't really
I,
want to use the name
you
that
know,
we used to use either, because it's kind of like a rinse and like a rebrand kind of thing that we're doing
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So I mean,
So I don't know. It's and I mean, it's hard to figure out what to call the podcast,
oh yeah, definitely is.
but I
Like
mean,
been thinking about it little by little, trying to figure it out. Hey, that Valkyrie Elysium game came out?
did that release today? The one that
No,
was
it
on my
released
wish.
yesterday. It's on PlayStation, PS5.
Huh.
Oh, I just had a full list of like games that all came out and everything.
It was on my
So
wish
that's
list.
what it was.
Oh, it's not out on Steam yet.
No, it's out on PS4 and
Okay. Yeah, the
a
Valkyrie
lot
S
got
one
left.
doesn't come out till November 11th on Steam, which is where I'm looking
No.
at it.
Yeah, I was just letting you
So,
know that it came out on PlayStation
gotcha.
already.
Okay.
Because Skyrim is releasing once again on the Switch.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured you did.
Hopefully we get some feedback from the co-op developers. So they're that last update kind of messed up some of the host server stuff. So once that's fixed, we should be good to go. Oh, and we can talk about the router.
Oh yeah,
So
because you have it.
yep. And I have it running. If I execute the VPN, it runs at roughly 100 up, 100 down now instead of 50 by 50. I want to get that to full, but with how the router was designed to segment up to 5 VPN channels, it's a little difficult. So if you have large bandwidth and you want to have a full VPN channel that covers the entire breadth of that, this router, you need to get a beefier router. There's two higher end ones, which are closer to $500. But for most people that are going to be streaming like like Marcus and stuff, the router with the VPN tunnel is going to be perfectly fine. Because most of the streamers, you only if you're streaming at 8,000 bit rate, that's 8 meg. So you only need, say, roughly, you want to double that, so 15 up. Most of them have that, and that channel is going to cover that bandwidth without issue.
So have you had any like other issues than that with it, or everything's going
Nope.
pretty smoothly with it?
If I turn that off, I have full 1.5 up, 1.5 down.
No,
I have segmented it.
Yeah.
So right now I have a dedicated for the physical connected devices, 1 gig up and down, and then
Yep.
0.5 for anything on the Wi-Fi 6 rails. So there's no collisions that way. So let me see. Oh, I have a picture of what I'm talking about. So for those
Yeah,
that
if you want to
wanting
bring
to
that up,
know,
so I, for reference purposes.
yeah, just a picture. Share. Oh, I don't. Oh, I can do. We currently support Google Slides, PowerPoint, and PDF. Okay, can't do slide. Okay.
All good.
So they don't do image sharing. That's weird.
I thought they would.
Oh, okay. So we will just share screen. Share this one. And I'll just pop up the picture.
Yeah.
So this here is from Flash Router. It's an Asus Merlin 58U. And it has been flashed with what's called DDWRT. So it's got VPN support built into it. And this is the router I'm now using in my office. And it does 2.5 gig support for network. As far as I can tell, I haven't had any bandwidth issues on it. Again, what I was talking about for those that don't understand is when I established the VPN back to Nord inside of the router, it takes and cuts my bandwidth down significantly. And that's part of the unfortunate design limitations of it. Cheaper router, narrower bandwidth, and working to get through that. There's some coding changes and stuff that we can make that I'm working with the DDWRT guys to do a custom script on that will hopefully open that up. What it'll do is it'll condense the 5 channels into one. But I got to play with that some more. But for $225, what you get out of it is pretty solid for most users. Most users aren't going to try and press what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always going to tweak with something and keep messing with it.
Yeah.
That's just your thing of doing.
Yeah. So,
yeah, definitely. Because I know Marcus was looking at getting one too. So,
yeah, I know that that somebody set something up so he could have the funds for it. They made the goal.
I think it was Gogito.
Yep, and he has the link.
Emmett Slaps.
Mm-hmm. And he made the goal for that one. I don't think he was necessarily aware of it. I know that he's dealing with some other issues with Twitch payouts and stuff like that. Which
plus, the hurricane too.
Yeah, he didn't get hit too bad, did he? He's up north.
He lives down in that area.
Is he down? Oh man.
So I mean, I've messaged him, but he hasn't responded to yet. He might not have signal.
He might not have a signal. Okay.
Yeah. So, I talked to him a few days ago. I think it was before it actually hit him. So
I know he was tweeting.
Yeah, but he said he may not have service then.
Early onset. So, yeah.
That's what I remember.
Gotcha. Okay. So, anyways, there's a video coming out. It's scheduled to go live at 8:30 a.m. Central tomorrow morning on the VPN router. Just a walkthrough, unboxing, and setting it up, and just some basic Q&A that people might have regarding it. So that'll go out, and then I've got, after having talked with Sweat for a little bit, and with CB, there's the goat right there, man.
Yep.
Just me and your ears must be burning, CB, after talking to CB earlier today, getting some much sage wisdom from the Jiraiya son. to simulcast or not to, and for those who don't understand what simulcast means, it means to stream to two or more streaming services at the same time. And in this case, we're talking possibly streaming to both YouTube and to Twitch. If you're a Twitch affiliate, what the ramifications of that are, can you lose your affiliate status? Is there going to be a negative impact for it? But I don't really think there is, especially if you're just getting started out. So, like, if you would ask me a year and a half ago, I might have been like, I don't know if I want to take that risk, because I had ample, not huge number of subscribers, 20, 30 subscribers. You know, you're like a couple $100 a month, which is all I'm after from streaming, to help cover bills for like StreamYard subscriptions or whatever I get into, so I can actually share and stream and all this other stuff, get little knickknacks to share on stream and test out. But right now we're started fresh.
Yeah,
and with the changes that Twitch has made, they loosened the reins on affiliates. They upset the partners quite a bit. They're split forced video and ads and stuff like that. Should we be simulcasting or streaming at the same time? Now, CB has a different situation, but because he does one and then the other, but he's built his communities that way, and they understand to switch back and forth. A lot of the larger streamers have a static content on YouTube and then live content on Twitch. So trying to merge those two communities is a little bit different. So I guess the question is, you know, I want to ask you and whoever's in chat is, what do you think the benefits of streaming on both platforms at the same time are, other than, say, discoverability?
Well, I mean, from what I've noticed, it seems to be like a plus to do it on both ends, but still to have like a static content. Like, let's see, what's one that does that? I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I remember him earlier. He does static stuff, right, on YouTube, and he streams. When he does stream, he streams to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And then parts of the clip that is from Twitch, he cuts them down and makes them into segments and hides the actual stream and puts segments of his stream up, the different areas that it happened.
So he uses the Twitch VOD.
Yeah.
As
cuts
like
it down in like different sections.
Okay.
And puts it up as static content essentially.
So using the live content to give static content. That's good.
That's what I'd seen him been doing, and it seemed like it's worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I'm just, with what Twitch is doing and how Twitch is moving. Like one of the other content creators that is big on in the realm of visuals, creating layovers and graphics and media and stuff like that. I was talking about the moves that Twitch has made isn't necessarily mean Twitch is dead. I don't think Twitch is dead anywhere near that.
No, definitely.
But the one thing that would definitely kill Twitch is if they got rid of Amazon Prime subs.
Yeah, most likely it would.
So I found that interesting. So the biggest question for me is in the thought process on this, because I will be simulcasting. I don't know how that will impact long-term affiliate, if I'll even get discovered or set off a flag for doing it, because it's really hard to. I'm an itty bitty fish, so I don't know that it would. But trying to build a community on Twitch, you and I both know, having come from Mixer.
Oh man,
is somebody that's trying to get back into streaming, or somebody that's just now getting into streaming? Do you take that risk of losing that if Twitch all of a sudden, hey, pulls a Stadia, which we'll talk about here later, and 2 months ago, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
In July, right? I think it was in July.
And then all of a sudden, nope, we're gone. Pulling the plug. I don't want to take that risk. I'd much rather build the community.
But see, the thing is too, though, if you're doing it simultaneously, right? you're technically building a community on both at one time, right?
Yep. And I
So I
can
mean,
share.
because there's no, I don't think there's a harm in doing either one at the same time, you know, because I don't see it as being a bad thing. Because even if they do supposedly say, "Oh, well, you're not affiliate like this or anymore like that," it's like it's not really going to hurt to begin with.
So what I need to check into is if you're streaming. I think there's a couple things that, from the research that have come up. The reason why I think Twitch is failing so bad is because they have networking infrastructure costs. They ramped up a bunch of stuff over COVID. Then all of a sudden, people have returned to normalization, as far as we can call it normal. And that's going to be a huge drop off. So you have all these things that are still up, infrastructures that's still there, and then the bandwidth that they have to handle has some cost to it. And I think Amazon's getting tired of underwriting that cost for them, and they want Twitch to turn around and start actually making or breaking even. I disagree with what they did with the current partners, the 70-30 split stuff going away. I would say leave that alone for those partners. They're the reason why Twitch is where it's at today, right? And
Yeah, I mean, still,
and then any new partner, just be flat up honest with it. I think what they're doing with ads might be moving in the right direction, although it's a little bit annoying for the viewers. But YouTube's got ads too, so it just depends. I started looking at the math and the potential payouts from running ads and stuff on your stream versus subscribers. You do have a potential to make more money off of the ads than off of subscribers. There's no doubt about that. Depends on how often and how much you stream and what your viewer average viewership is. But doing well driving, so can't hear, but watching the goats. Okay. Are you driving home or are you driving to the airport?
whichever one you're doing, just he can't hear, so it's told to be safe.
Yeah, I just realized I asked that and I was like, he can't hear me, so maybe I should sign. But so when I was talking, I mean, it was Sweat was talking about it in his live stream, ping back and forth a little bit about it, and I chatted with CB about it earlier, and I went into some forums and everything else like that. I just for us and personally for myself, I don't see a downside to it. I literally don't see a downside.
Don't either.
So that's what I'm going to be doing. I have to figure out, but right now, I need to do some testing on it and figure out what the best way to make that is. He's passenger in the car. As long as it's not Sweat driving, you're fine.
As long as
as long as it's not Sweat, we're good.
Oh man, that's a oof. That's all I got for that one. Is a oof. Okay. And he didn't hear you say as long as it's not Sweat.
Yeah.
So
I just put it in there. So I did it as all. Dang it. So this is a downside to StreamYard. If you are simulcasting and I don't choose all, I have to pick one.
Yeah,
I can't be
yourself.
Geek. Yeah, okay. So we'll leave it as all for right now. That's an interesting observation that we didn't check one off. Make a mentally note of that. Okay. I need to pull up a notepad for that. Hold on. Simulcast.
Notepad. Yeah, I mean you definitely need to. Because I mean that's a thing that you didn't even think about when you did it. You just
yeah,
it says all, so yeah, that's definitely gonna get some kids used to, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, did you? It's fine.
No, I did not. I was I mean, it's good to know, but I hadn't even considered it.
The thing is, though, the more you know, bud.
Yep. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Sorry.
Honestly, I don't see a problem with doing it. I mean,
long term, I think if Twitch starts doing what they're doing, then we're gonna have some negatives from Twitch themselves, and I'd much rather be able to continue. I mean, my primary goal right now is honestly, it was trying to get my Twitch channel to 1,000, and it's still there because let's face it, one of the best things about Twitch is how easy it is to make affiliate and start making money versus YouTube, where you have to get 1,000 subscribers, aka Twitch followers, their version of followers.
And 4,000 watch hours, I believe.
And 4,000 watch hours. And I've got the watch hours, luckily. I think. Pretty sure I do.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have restarted my YouTube channel, then maybe I would have had closer to it. But since I completely redid it and restarted it, it's
yeah. And then even then, there's the various types of analytics: YouTube Shorts, static shorts, content, long form content creation, 5, 10, 20, 30-minute, hour-long videos, live streaming, which the monetization goes where, what are the requirements for one versus another. CB helped me understand that quite a bit. The YouTube Shorts themselves, the sheer number of viewer hours that you have before they monetize is insane.
I mean, it's all definitely a progress thing, though, bro.
The cool thing about YouTube Shorts, both vertical and horizontal, the horizontal ones don't technically count as a YouTube short in their books, but that kind of a format, the 60-second to 3-minute kind of video format, is one of the things that they've seen that helps drive viewers to your page as well as follows or subscribes, right? So that's what I'm going to be focusing on really over the next 3 months, is seeing what I can do and if I can get to that hurdle mark that has forever been my challenge on YouTube, is getting to 1,000. I think if we had stuck with the streaming before I changed jobs, I'd have been there a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, if we the thing was too is last year for us was just in the middle of last year, it was just like a rough patch.
Yep.
You know, you were changing stuff up, I was changing stuff up, and next thing you know, we're just taking a break from it. And so, it's
I was adjusting to the new job. I had stuff with the kids, and it made me refocus the priorities that we have, right?
Yeah,
and then I still gamed because this is my stress relief, is gaming and technology. I didn't have tech to keep me busy because the COVID apocalypse technology wastelands that were and are recovering from now kind of just totally derailed all of that. So yeah, it was I'll be honest, that time, that February and March last year, between the jobs, I was really stressed and depressed. I mean, my biggest fear in my entire life is I don't look at failures as a failure. It's just a way of not to do something right. And apparently I triggered my phone stuff, but as a stepping stone, you learned what to do or not to do. But in that case, it was my biggest fear is not being able to provide for my family. I've got 2 kids and I don't want to let them down ever. So I dealt with all that stuff. And then we came back, all of a sudden my kids are now doing sports and piano and school. And it's like, oh my gosh, that keeps you busy. Welcome to the life of active adolescence in the home. And so when I came back, that's why we did the podcast on Fridays at night, because you don't have to worry about your work impact the next day being an hour and ahead. And
pretty much.
Yeah. So
I mean, that all turns out to be all right.
It still doesn't. Hi, Gabby.
Baby Yoda.
Put your hoodie on. You want to show him your hoodie? You got to step forward.
Yeah.
There it is.
Evil Baby Yoda.
Daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a potato. This is my arm.
This is your potato, and this is your arm. All right. I'm streaming, baby. You need to.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to go hide.
Yeah. Just off she goes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really still do need to figure out a name for that.
we still need a name, people.
Hey, I mean, because that's the thing, though, man. Like after how long it took us to come up with that other name.
God. My wife just texted me. Oh my God. Hold on. She just
Does she have
texted
a
me
name?
this. Yeah, she did.
Oh boy. All right, I guess we're about to see a name. Let's see what it is.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Oh, I
Oh,
responded. Were you guys watching Beauty and the Beast in the other room? God.
Well, it's not hard to figure out which one's which.
Right. Oh. How about Geeks and Gamers? I like that.
Yeah, because
That's a little less.
well, I think we could always do a like a little twit poll with it too, and see.
Yeah. Geeks and Gamers, GG's. Can't believe she tweet. Oh, I'm gonna have to shut the door and turn off my phone, man.
It's like turn off the phone, get out.
Leave me alone.
Oh man, though. I mean, yeah, because that's one big thing too. Is like we really don't know what the name's gonna be. Currently, it's just literally podcast.
Yeah, I mean, and if people see that, there's nothing for them to say. I don't know if I want to watch that. But if we can have something in the name, and then we can put the title out there.
Yeah,
like the one tonight has been really vague.
Yep.
Mark, to let you know, I got the laptop Asus ROG Strix G15, Ryzen 7, 16 gigs of RAM, GeForce 3060. It's a solid in 165 hertz. That's actually a pretty good laptop. And a lot of people, I know there's some people, oh, don't get a gaming laptop. You can't upgrade it. And the heat, I'm telling you, they've stabilizing the warranties on them right now. No. I'm telling you, that box right there would be solid. You're not going to do world record stuff on it, but if we hadn't gotten the new hardware coming out, I seriously was looking at taking my laptop and turning it into a streaming rig, and then this is my gaming rig, because I do know for a fact with the RTX 3000, even with the 3090, gaming and streaming on the new games is going to be taxing. So, which is again one of the reasons why I decided Hogwarts Legacy PS5, Ragnarok PS5. Yeah, because then it takes that stress off.
Yeah, instead of doing it from
and I've got the Xbox for some of the titles on that one, but yeah, so I'm not. It has Dolby Vision. Yeah, and you got the option with it's got the display port on it, correct, Mark? You've got a display port. Leads us into that one.
Yep. Right into that one from where we were.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, Mark, on the Atmos. But that laptop should have. Is that one? Because they've got two versions of that. The Ryzen one. That one of them had it's either HDMI 2.1 or display out on it. The other one's got the Thunderbolt adapter, so you can hook a dock up to it and get yourself. But you should have the option to 3060 out to a full size display, if I'm not mistaken. I'd actually have to go look at that one specifically. But yeah. Which kind of leads us back to the conversation. Like when I was doing the stream the other night, it has HDMI and display port, but that is in a
USB-C style.
Yeah, it's Thunderbolt. So you can
yeah. So it's this tiny one.
You'll need a dock, which is fine. I would prefer not to have that dock, but again, laptop. It's a laptop, so you have to deal with that aspect of it, but it's not a bad aspect, not an issue to deal with. That is a bad issue necessarily.
I think we'll
But
be
like,
fine.
yeah, when I did the chat Wednesday, the stream on Wednesday, and we spent an hour or two talking about all the stuff, I have literally watched pricing drop on hardware, consistently drop. So you've got 3060 Ti's. They're estimated by the end of October to be around $399. A 3060 Ti. Now you're like, oh, that's it's not the best card, but a 3060 Ti card is a solid card by any means for a gaming system or a streaming system. It's the equivalent of like a 2080, right? Except it has better RAM and control, and whatnot. And then your 3080 Ti cards, a 3080 Ti is supposed to be down to $799. And the 3080 Ti card will kick the living snocky crap out of a 4080 12 gig. I still think NVIDIA needs to come out and formally apologize for trying to pass a 4080 12 gig off as a 4080 card. They really do. And I think they need to get their heads out of their butts on that one. Because the other part of the problem is the pricing that they came out with. It still shows they're really out of touch with market and with current world trends. The economy for most of the world is not in a great place. And
Yeah,
coming
'cause,
out with your
now that you're saying that, so I was looking up the 3080 Ti, right?
Mhm.
Since you were talking about it, and yeah, I could get one if I wanted to.
Yeah.
$899.
So
It's dropped quite a bit since I
Yep.
last looked at it. So I mean, yeah, it
And
definitely has.
and I can tell you right now, I was planning to get a passive dongle for the display.
I mean, because right now, Geek, I've got the
You could do that.
3060 Ti sitting there.
Yeah. Mark, I have no idea the performance impact to that. I'd be interested in learning what that is. As
Yeah,
far
because
as
right
the
now,
latency.
like you're right, dude. I was looking at it, the 3060 Ti, right?
I think you can get it for right now for a decent brand for
400.
$450.
No, 400.
What's the name brand?
NVIDIA. It's the
Yeah.
same one I've got in my PC.
There you go.
It's
So I mean, if you're
literally
able to
that
get
one.
those, and then all of a
It's the,
sudden, say you get a
It's the
3070
Founders
drop,
Edition, Geek.
yeah, that's pretty good. $400 for a 3060 Ti. That's really good.
The one that I have in this computer, it's that
Mhm.
one, and I can get it. And I obviously don't need it, but it's
Right.
$400.
Well, yeah. There's that balance. Do I need it? Should I get it? Get in trouble with the wife? Is it better to ask for forgiveness? I'll go.
There
with
was a
something.
meme I saw on Twitter, right, about it. It was like, it was a good deal, but no, what I'm gonna eventually wait for is I'll wait and get this 3080 Ti.
Yeah, but the 30. My best guess is you'll be able to pick up from Newegg, and you'll need to make sure when you look at these that they're not refurbished, right? But
Definitely.
you'll be able to get my best guess off of everything I've read is you'll be able to pick up a 3080 Ti by the time everything's all done, end of this year, beginning of next year, for probably $700, somewhere between $700 to $750 for a decent
Which
name
the
brand.
thing that's impressive is to even just see the 3080 back down below $900 again, just to see it on its way down. Because the ROG structure, the 3080, the OC, is $799, which it hasn't been down that low in a long time.
Now you get
because I actually pulled up the site for it.
Yeah, and you look at me like I'm looking at the closely following the 4090 card. The RTX 40 may be the last RTX NVIDIA card that I buy for the next generation, because I think NVIDIA is losing touch with reality, touch with their consumer base. Crypto is moved on. They're using different means and methodologies now to do their crypto mining. So the GPU market is not there like it used to be. They're going to have to figure out where that market's going to be, and not price themselves out. Because again, already the reason I say that you can build a budget PC for a good price is using this current gen, not the next gen, the current gen hardware.
Oh yeah, 'cause
A
the prices are
RTX
definitely
330 series, an AMD 5800 X3D, still smoking the new Intel 13 gen stuff, and even giving a run to the money to the 7600 and 7700, even in the degree the 7800 series Ryzen's, and it's what, $400. So you can get a processor and the GPU for 800, and then you toss in the motherboard, decent motherboard for $200. You get the RAM kit for, I want to say, $100. You get an 1 terabyte M2 drive. You get the case and then the power supply. You're looking like $1,400, maybe 15. That's not
yeah,
bad
because
price. I'm streaming, Gab. You guys can get her and say, "Do you want a treat?" Ask her if she wants a treat, and then offer a treat.
yeah, that happens sometimes though.
But so I think those days are back now. Personally, do you want to? In my opinion, would you want to spend a little extra? If it's only a matter of like $200, do I want to get a little bit better hardware? And because let's face fact, there's not going to be any games coming out that you won't be able to run on an RTX 30. Even the next generation ones that are coming, like Hogwarts and all that stuff, they're not pushing it. They're not at that point yet to where a 40 is going to be required. And I think you can get, if you built a decent system today, you'll be able to get 3 years out of it easily before you're like, maybe I need to do some upgrades. But being able to get a PC again for under $2,000 is going to be
I don't
phenomenal.
really need to upgrade anything on my PC, but will I upgrade something on my PC? Probably. It's not like I need it, but will I do it? Probably.
Yeah, well, it's like me, and because I'm waiting till I was having this talk with Joe, and I'm waiting for March or April because
I mean, I'm not going to do it
with
anytime soon. Of
all the new
course.
hardware coming out, I want to see what the announcements, because they had, where's that? I put a lot of stuff in the. I was working on my blog site. It's not ready to go live yet, but they did leak. Let me share screen. The roadmap for when the X3Ds are going to come out, right?
Mhm.
Which is like the 5800 X3D is probably one of the most awesome
Because
things that they've
remember, I
done.
was originally going to upgrade to the 5800X. Remember?
Yeah.
And instead, I ended up getting the 5600X.
Yeah. Anyone that's on a budget, the 5800 X3D, hands down, 100%, go get an X3D. That is probably the best processor for gaming in a long time. And
It's actually a really good price too.
we have CES coming out January 5th through the 8th. I'm expecting, and especially since this roadmap's leaked, that we'll get some more of a definitive date as to which processors are going to get the X3D treatment and to when. And that'll heavily influence when I purchase the processor. What they did last time was they only the 5800 X3D. I would really like to see a 7950 X3D to push that balance. I don't know if it's possible for them. It should be. There was enough push and request from community towards AMD. I'd be surprised if they didn't plan for that in advance. And then they can come back. I'm hoping in January at the CS and just KO Intel on it. But that has yet to be seen. In my gaming tower, I have an XVG RTX 2600 KO edition, and it's running like it. Yeah, most of the 2000 series are going to be good. The problem is, like we noted, speaking of the devil, Joe is now messaging me on Discord. Do you have Netflix? Yes.
You have Netflix. I like how he's like, oh yeah, Netflix, by the way.
The Ranch. I like it. The first season was the better one. That's where Sam Elliott's phrase, because he was seeing the doctor, and she's like,
So Mark has the
oh,
2060. Okay.
and he's like,
Knockout.
you need to drink less and eat less meat, and he's like, not happening. How do you handle stress? Yeah, no. But yeah, so that's why I'm going to wait. We'll see what happens. I do know Intel came out with their pricing today on their Arc series. They have a huge issue to deal with sorting out the driver stuff, but they are working through that. So it's going to be nice to see. And they've already come out and stated, hey, look, we've got years to get this figured out, developed. They are coming into the market. They're not going to get out of it. They are going to come into the market. So you're going to have Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. So there's healthy competition in the video market platform. Intel, AMD, there's healthy competition in the CPU market. And somebody was trying to tell me, oh, you've got Apple processors too. Screw Apple processors. That is not even a consideration. They are a minuscule amount in the footprint of grand scheme of things. They're not a processor that's even used in data centers like Amazon or inside of Google's GCP environments or Azure. It's not even a consideration. They can do whatever they want, but the reality is they have heat issues, they have limitations, they don't do virtualization, any of that stuff. So they have a long, long ways to go. And hold on, I'm going to go on mute for a second.
He said standby. He's still gonna come right back and continue telling you what he really thinks about the Apple processors when he's done.
She wants more desserts. Love them.
Apple processors. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, so Apple's got a long ways to go. I just think that they that's a whole different tangent. But for users, gamers, home users and stuff, you want to be able to do the most that you can, because the other thing is, if you want to use an Intel or an Apple processor, it's how they tell you to use it in their systems and you have no control. Do you know that they're at the point now where they're getting down to the firmware level? If you're not running their OS, say if you want to flash that system and run just Linux on top of it, it won't work. You have to run their stuff. Yes.
She wants dessert.
Oh, no, he wants a banana.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So I still think you can being able to build a budget computer now, even if it's just generation.
I mean, honestly, because you remember when I built those other two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they weren't that bad to build themselves. And that was now, like, looking at the prices for the stuff now, if I was to build the same one, after
I'd say $1,700, maybe.
I mean, like,
18?
yeah,
because you did what, like 2,600 on those?
No, it was. I think I spent like 1,800 on them. Take.
Oh, but you did 20,000 series cards in those, right?
Yes, the 2060 Super, actually.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Remember, I had to have that one from PNY automated.
I do remember that.
Because I mean, but see, the prices on the 3000 series have dropped so much that I could spend $100 more now and get a 3000 series card over the 2000 series card. So,
Gabby came in, Calvin came in. 2 of the 3 dogs have now come in.
Because that's what I was looking at, right? Is the 2060 Super, right, is probably give or take $299 currently, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and you're going to spend probably, $100, $150 more and get a 3060 Ti.
Yeah. I mean, we can get, let's do this. Share screen.
So
make sure we're sharing the right one. You can get,
let's do it.
Let's see, 5800 X3D. How much right now?
Let's see.
$400.
442. It's not bad.
And you could probably get a bundle for it.
Most likely.
I wouldn't buy any of these game systems here that are still listing. Oh, $4,000 and get this. Let's see what this is. You're getting an AMD 5800X, $400. Oh, that's because they're putting the 6900 XT in it. I still think that's overpriced. I think that's $1,000 to $1,200 overpriced, and that's
But, I
because what
mean-
they're trying to do is clear out their old inventory.
Yeah, of what they have.
But and I
Kelly
love that.
says, "Is it bad? I just ordered caramel lattes through McDonald's for delivery instead of making them."
Yeah. Unless
I
they're
would
good.
go-
I haven't. I would say this, if I go to Japan, fast
I
food
wouldn't
restaurants in
know if they're
Japan are
good.
way better. They're not allowed to use some of the meats and stuff in processor. Plus, yeah. So say you
I
got
mean,
$400. Like when I
if
was
you
looking at
just
this,
like it that way, Kelly, it's fine.
yeah.
Just go with it.
I just want the. I don't want the desktops. I just want the processor part because you can get this in a bundle. When we were looking at the other day, yeah. So you can get the
That's on the
bundle and
side, though.
everything else there. You add in $150, $200, so you get, say $600. We'll say $625, and then you go get yourself.
Geek, the one that I'm ended up building, right, is going to end up going in that other case that I have.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
You can get a 3070. What is it? 3070 here.
Yeah.
For $550.
Yeah,
You can
prices
get
gone down on
the.
GPUs, dude.
3080. Let's see if it's gone down since I looked yesterday. 3080.
No, I looked at it.
Yeah,
That's
$700
what I was
bucks.
saying. That's what I was talking about.
That's
that one
an
right
80.
there,
That's
Joe.
an OC. That's an OC.
Yes.
That's not a TI.
But the one next to it
Yeah,
is
900, 829. That's a gigabyte.
Yeah,
Gigabyte's decent.
Yeah, so what I did was I just separated it by TI so it wouldn't display the 3080.
Yeah.
So that's why I did mine separated like that, just to see that one.
But yeah, so you're going to be able to build your systems just fine. And
Yeah, that's what I did just to see. Because I know as this other stuff
829.
is going to drop.
I love UVGA, but $1,700 for 3080 Ti for the win is not. That's might be worth $1,000 now. The ROG Strix 3080 Ti worth $1,000. It's not. These are not worth that. So you're going to keep seeing the prices come down. It's already dropped, as you can see, $1,499 or $1,489.
It's going to keep going down though too. I mean,
they're going to keep dropping. Yeah. So you can do all that and the RAM, and I mean, you'll be able to build the box for. I mean, if you get the three most expensive parts are motherboard, processor, GPU. Or at least that's how it was during COVID. But now you get a 3060 Ti card for $400. You get the motherboard for $200. You get the case for $200. Get the power supply for $120. You get the RAM, everything, and you actually have money left over. You can buy a monitor. You could actually buy a monitor and have money to buy a mouse and keyboard. Whereas before it was just the case.
Times are starting to change again to where you can actually go back and do some stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that aspect of it. But yeah.
So I mean, definitely. Times have changed into where you can build stuff again.
Yeah, where then you look at the flip side of that with the new stuff. Even if you stay with Intel, they're in trouble still because they benchmarked off of. Sure, they used a 5950X, but they used the least optimal RAM for it. So they got underperforming scores. When those scores, if you put the actual 4000 hertz RAM, which is peaked for, your performance goes way up, which is in Cinebench. Same thing for the 5800X 3D. You start to see.
Yeah, because the other thing I was looking at too is I was comparing the 5900X to the 5800, X 3D. It's like they are so far, they're really similar.
Yeah.
But the other one is just a little bit better. Plus, it ups the extra cache on it too.
Yeah.
So
it just, I mean,
Yeah, definitely do.
You're going to have to deal with the new stuff, cooling, new power supplies, all that other stuff. So you got to weigh your balances. But we don't need to keep talking about tech. We can talk about games now. Well, let's do one more thing, and we have 2 more tech things. Let's talk about Stadia. What do you guys think about the Stadia shutdown?
Oh man, the Stadia shut down. Geek, one last thing though, like before we talk about the Stadia thing, because I was curious about, average price to get the CPU and motherboard and like memory for
Mhm.
the run the 5800 X3D and the motherboard
Mhm.
and 3600 stuff. You could run a little bit higher than 3600 easily, but just saying just base 3600, it's
Mhm.
like $670.
Yeah, it's cheap.
So I mean,
You literally, I'm telling you right now, the game system you could build today using this current generation,
and that's using a lot newer. That's using a lot better CPU. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Minus
Um,
that. Back to your Stadia thing now.
yeah. So 2 months ago, people were like, "Oh, it's not shutting down." There were statements they're not shutting it down.
There was a big to do over on Twitter about it because everybody was talking about it.
Yep.
I don't remember where it's at now. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was back in July, if I remember right.
Yeah, I want to say it was July as well. I know Bungie had made a reference to it, and this one of the things I think was most shocking is because of how Bungie leverages Stadia for their work from home developers, testers, and all that other stuff. The concern now is, will this impact like the Destiny 2 release for Lightfall? Or is there a misunderstanding that people don't understand how Stadia is being used by Bungie? I highly doubt that Stadia is hosting Bungie's development servers where the game is running. What they are probably doing is doing a custom environment with restricted game releases in that environment. Personally, I'm glad that Stadia is going away. Instead of focusing on multiple platforms and developing and testing inside of a crap environment, they are now going to have to figure out where to develop. You remember before they were developing in Stadia, if they remember before then, they were in-house and some remote work via VPN. And the quality was better and less bugs, less issues. Now, oh no, with Stadia going away, does that mean the developers actually have to go into the office? They already don't want to work on the weekends. No comment. IT professional here. You're going to have to work an occasional weekend. Get over it, especially in the gaming realm. I'm sorry. I don't care what game developer you are. You have a game as a service. Most of your gamers, you have school time during the day and you have workforce during the day. The bulk of the workforce is daytime. So you're going to have coverage at night, coverage on the weekends where most of your players are doing their stuff. But we don't want to work on the weekends. Grow up and realize what your customer base is and support that base. Otherwise, people will move on. And I think what we need to see, though, for Bungie is a healthy dose of competition. I'm really hoping First Descendants brings that. But anyways, going back to Stadia and how they use it, I think, in my opinion, based on a post that was shared with me from 2020, the way they're leveraging it is they're releasing custom game builds into Stadia, and then they were using Stadia to test that out. And I think by doing that, they weren't actually able to truly simulate PlayStation and or Xbox or PC. Specifically PC. PC was taking a huge hit on their quality. And I think as they move that through, they're going to have to evaluate. Now, can they still have the workforce work remote? Yeah, I think they need to truly stand up a virtual environment, though, and provide access to those systems remotely, those testing kits, as they call them, that are too expensive to send home or they don't want to take the risk of sending them home. You don't have to send them home. You just have to put them on a network, a segmented network, and give virtual access to those networks just essentially what Stadia was doing. So I think they could make that work.
I mean, they could definitely do something with it, but you know, like at the end of the day, though, like for them, it's it doesn't just
I don't-
affect them. Like, cause I've seen some other people that like some of the developers that are on Stadia though, that are developing games for it, they didn't even get
Yeah.
told
Nope.
that hey, Stadia's shutting down. They were still planning on.
Can I ask a question not related to Stadia? Because yeah, you can ask whatever, dude.
Ask me
yeah.
any questions, and I'll tell you no lies. But
If I have the answer,
yeah, I
but
mean, I probably don't have the answer. Geeks probably got the answer.
Dear Bungie, fix the damn Crucible match counter. Okay, so solution to that one.
But
I have the solution, and they've made a statement on this one.
yeah,
If you go into Crucible and you win the match, even if you get rewarded the loot and you leave to go to orbit before the match is actually sent you to orbit,
yeah, and
there is a bug,
leaving.
so you won't.
It accounts you as
won't
leaving
get it.
if you do that.
So what
if you don't stay until it puts you all the way back into orbit, it will count that you've left the match before it's ended.
Yep. Well,
because it happened to Sox.
Yeah. Well,
he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was loading into.
He was
the
just
match.
in orbit. They just got their team together, and there's like, you left a PvP.
No,
I haven't even loaded in yet.
No, he was on his way loading in, and it kicked him back to orbit and told him that he didn't finish his match.
What's up, Dane?
What up, Dane? Hey,
greetings to you in Florida. Hopefully that tree doesn't fall in your house, man. So yeah, Stadia. Now the people every time I talk to somebody, it's all about Bungie, which Jay brought up a great point, and we were talking about. I don't want to focus on the Bungie aspect of it. Yeah, I honestly, again, as I said before,
it's
from
not
my
just
standpoint,
Bungie though.
Yeah,
I
think it's a great thing. The Bungie's going to have to get their heads out of their ass and actually figure out how to work efficiently and accurately. Now, all these other developers that were making a living developing games on Stadia because it was easy, I feel sorry for them. But my professional career can tell you the number of projects that Google has launched, used for a year or two, and said, "Oh no, we're done," and just completely decided we're done. Cut it off. We're not going to use it anymore. I can't count that high. They just cut it off. That's Google. They got the money for it, and they're like, "Oh, it's not making us money. It's too much of a hassle. We're going to cut our losses." Effective immediately.
Yeah, because I mean, you still had like all these people that were trying to put out games for Stadia, and some of them that were even releasing it within a couple days. Like I'm talking 2 days from now.
Yeah,
and it's like, man, they really should have, like, at least spoken to your developers that you have working there.
That's not how Google works. They're like, "Oh, we're going to give you the 90 days. We'll get you 90 days, and we're done."
Yeah, I mean, we did see Stadia not making it long term. We did talk about that.
Yeah. I was hopeful. I mean, and we've got Amazon Luna's out there, but that's not on the same level. And Amazon is already fully proven as a game publisher, they suck.
Yeah, believe me. I can
Amazon New World
agree with that.
And Lost Ark, no. Amazon.
I would have preferred that Amazon kept their feet out of that game.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Had Lost Ark come to the US via a different publisher, and been available strictly, say, through like Epic or something, I think we would have seen.
I would have even took NISA doing that or something.
Yeah, I think Epic probably would have.
Who normally does the publishing for overseas games to the US.
Yeah,
they do a lot of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have done better.
I think it would have been a lot better. I don't know what the full ramifications will be for Stadia. We'll see reports, the tech reports and stuff that I follow from a Business Insider standpoint. I'll have a better glimpse into it next week as it settles in. I don't know what that means impact-wise to our area of gaming. It's not going to be great, but again, I don't game in Stadia. I do know people that use Stadia. I know people in areas of the world like India that use Stadia because you pay for your bandwidth in a way over there where we pay, I'm paying for 100 gigs up and down. I'm paying for a 1 gig up and down or 2 gigs up or down. They actually pay for the byte going up and down, So being able to essentially have a client, a soft client or a thin client, as we used to call them, like your phone or a tablet or something that gives you access into a cloud environment, and you can do whatever you want in there, and it doesn't impact your bandwidth per se. It's just typical internet. You're just sending zeros and ones for input controls. Oh, move this way, move that way, chat this text or something, instead of the full game running back and forth. I really don't know how that's what ramifications that'll have to those.
How it's going to affect others at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be unique.
No, it definitely is, because that's the thing, man. Like at this point, though, it's like it's not just us; it's how it's going to affect everybody in general.
Yeah, too bad all these checkpoint farms. Yeah, so all those ones, like I'm not gonna lie, I did use the CP checkpoint bot for getting Shiro Chi every week. I will not lie on that one. It was efficient and
yeah, definitely saves
easy
time. So
now I am tired of leveling up weapons. Extremely tired of leveling up weapons, but that's all I have left to do in D2. But they all ran off of Stadia. So say bye-bye to your CP bots. Say bye-bye a lot of the PvP bots. They were using Stadia to level PvP players. So you're going to see a lot of stuff, I think.
But it's not just how it affects Destiny. It's how it affects everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, Stadia is a much broader thing.
Yeah.
Than just...
So, I mean, so one of the things I also, we're talking a bit about Destiny 2 at the moment. We are not going to in the podcast. We still haven't decided on a name. We're leaning towards Geeks Gamers or something. But I said that because if the wife watches this, to make her happy. Which she's just going to watch this and listen to this part and get upset. Well, you only said that because, yeah. Anyways,
yeah. Just remember, you said it, not me.
Yeah, I know. I'm sleeping. I'll be sleeping in the chair. We want to focus on all the games, and what we're trying to focus on right now is the Stadia shutdown. What is the global ramification to the gaming market? I don't want to focus on just Destiny 2. Now, it's my fault because I kind of went off on it because I'm still pissed off at Bungie's comment. We don't want to work on the weekends. As an IT professional, that just insulted me. But Geeks and Gamers Exist as a podcast. See, so the thing, we need to go check availability and stuff. But yeah, it'd be a playoff of this. My wife sent me a text that said the Geek and the Gamer. And that was too much Beauty and the Beast for me. I needed something more gamey and techie. So that's why we're going to post on Twitter. Help us figure out a name for our podcast. But yeah, so I don't know what it's going to mean. Do we even have a list of the games?
What?
List of Stadia games?
Yeah, that was dude. Like, you don't even want to know how many are actually going to release in 2022.
Yeah,
like, dude.
So,
like, dude, the new games that were just coming is just insane.
They had a decent list.
Yeah, and then even for like, just for their 2022, man, like, they were having certain games come out over there.
What about the people that bought the game inside of Stadia?
Now, I did see a little bit about that, right? So they said reimbursements might be out there.
I don't know. No, I don't know, Genome. The environment is specific to Stadia. You might have NVIDIA's Now. Is it called NVIDIA Now?
Yeah, I think so.
that's similar where they got sued and they had to scale back on some of the games. So I don't know how that will work.
All right, so I did see that they do plan to refund game purchases.
Okay. Well, that's going to come out of Google's pocket, not out of anybody else's. No, that's chump change to Google.
So
they make so much money.
Google is issuing refunds.
Okay. Well, that's good.
They're refunding all their hardware purchases as well, all game and add-on content, and but they won't refund the Stadia Pro stuff, like for paying for the Pro. So existing Pro users will be able to play free of charge from now until yeah.
That just sucks. So you've got Get Packed, which was no, that's not an exclusive. This one's an exclusive, I guess. Guilt, I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't either.
Submerged. So what you got these? All of a sudden, you got these exclusive games that were developed specifically for Stadia. That they're kind of screwed, man. Was a big list? Well, I can understand why Hideo got canceled. Stadia is shutting down. I don't know, man. That's going to be some of the game developers are going to have to shift, or they're going to India game developers are going to go out of business.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. Is because there's so many there that are just dropping, man. Because that's the thing. Like so many people have been trying to develop games for that, and then not being told about it, and then they see it, and they've spent so much money just developing that game for Stadia.
So you got not only do you have the Stadia employees, either going to get reallocated to different positions within Google, highly unlikely, or likely, depends on what they're doing, infrastructure, cloud management, virtualization and stuff. That's pretty big in Google. So they could probably, but there's going to be a specific set of team members and stuff that probably won't. And then you have the independent game developers that were specific to that one that are either going to have to downsize because all of a sudden that avenue from Stadia is gone and they have to look at really focusing on the other platforms, or they don't have any other options and they're going to shut down. So it's going to have a domino effect across the board. That's for sure. I don't know how many. It'll be really interesting to see the articles come out over the next.
They've got 4 months, but it's like, what can they do in 4 months though, too?
I don't know. It's,
I mean, you look at the big thing too. So I mean, at this point, it's kind of up in the air, really, man. So
yeah, I mean, you look at Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft that does Skulls and Crossbones? They've been developing the Skulls and Crossbones for years now. I think it's Ubisoft, or is it EA? I don't remember. One of the developers, they're pushing Skulls and Crossbones back for the 5th time now. And they got money where these independent studios, I don't know what they can do. I think other area pretty high bandwidth. If I'm okay, let me get caught up on the chat here. By the way, we're live streaming tonight on Twitch and YouTube. So if you're here in Twitch, thank you. If you're in my YouTube, I appreciate it. Trying to grow that channel. Jay is trying to grow his YouTube as well.
Yeah, so it's done by Ubisoft.
Yeah, I thought it was Ubisoft.
They're still working on it.
Yeah, so I do know there's a few delays that were pushed out where they were citing they have to remove Stadia hook-ins. So that's interesting. Those are minor code changes. You could probably just turn those off instead of have to remove them. I don't know if there's I would consider that probably
the game doesn't look bad.
No, for what it's supposed to be, it got ripped apart pretty good by some of the game reviewers. So I think, do I have J's? Yes, I do have J's. Let me share them right now. So here is Jay's.
Oh yeah, because I ended up making a new YouTube, which is why most people don't actually know exist.
This is Jay's live stream right there. And for those curious about mine, this is my YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, dude, it's honestly crazy to me though, just like how much stuff that is going to be like a domino effect
Yeah.
from when that shuts down.
Yep. And for those that are tuned in just now or recently, we had a conversation earlier surrounding simulcast. Both Jay and I, I talked a lot with CB and Sweat and a couple other bigger streamers. And with where we're at, I think both Jay and I are going to start simulcasting.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I definitely
just-
think we're going to end up doing it that way.
Yeah, so just be prepared for conversations surrounding that. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be keeping an eye on Stadia and its impact.
It's definitely going to change a little bit, I think.
But that
overall,
said,
though, with what they're going to do with it, it's really going to depend. Like, because the thing is, I just don't want to see the developers that were working for it trying to make games and stuff. I just don't want to see them fall for not being able to do something with their game, since kind of had.
I think we're screwed.
Under them.
Yeah, I unfortunately.
I mean, to an extent, maybe. Like, here's the flip side to that too. Maybe they try to get it to go on the Switch. I guess I get it. It's going to be a lot of work for them, but who's to say they didn't have a backup plan filling it that along the way too?
I'll be honest. There is a niche market if I think about it.
Yeah.
And I think they need to reach out, and this is going to sound interesting, to Steam. Because the Steam Deck has enough momentum.
Yeah, Mark, I'm on YouTube tonight. And technically on Twitch at the same time.
So the cool thing is what we're using right now is called StreamYard for the broadcast. And we have the option to merge all the various chat channels into one comments section.
That's definite, Dane. Yeah, I agree with that. CB's chat would just drive him up. Like, he would not be there with it. Because he would be trying to pay attention to both so much.
Yeah, well, yeah. You just slobbered all over my hand.
Yeah, there's the dog right there. Says, hey. How you doing?
You can say hi. You're going to say hi?
Look,
okay.
Dog says hello.
Hello. This is the lover of a ball. He craves attention. If you ever saw him, you'd think he was ignored. But he...
Oh, yeah. Do you ever play with your dog?
All the time.
See, it doesn't look like he ever... All right, Callie, we'll see you when you get back.
What? Are the kids ignoring? Usually what happens is the kids ignore him. So this isn't my dog. This is Calvin's dog. The big, heavy Malamute is my dog.
Yeah. Hey, look, this is Pollock saying, hey, I'm not done yet. You're not done.
Now he's laying on the desk. The smallest of the dogs is one of those.
Right, Joe? Agreed, bud. Agreed.
Okay. I love you to death, but you got to get off my arm. Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely another thing too, Geek, is some of the games that would have come out on it, it's like, going to their Steam thing would be like, indie games going to Steam is completely normal.
Yeah. I think there's a platform for it.
I think there is, because I still think that gives them enough room to do some stuff with it. And I don't think it would be too much of a change for them to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well, what I think is going to be awesome is just a segue into the Steam Deck. Having one and made the modifications that I have to it, that and how they're treating it, and they encourage you to modify your Steam Deck, and it doesn't void the warranty. It doesn't void the warranty. Changing out the hardware, the M2 drive in it didn't void my warranty. Changing the battery to a longer life battery, a more efficient battery, didn't void my warranty. Making physical changes to it did not void my warranty. So now I've doubled my battery life.
Yep.
I have 2.5 terabytes of storage. That game is free. It's fantastic, and they're just going to keep evolving it. Part of me regrets having bought the really expensive one, but that was me, for this Steam Deck 2.0. I think
when you could have bought the cheap one.
Yeah.
And done the same thing that you've done.
So anyone that's looking to buy a Steam Deck, go with the cheap one, pop the back off of it, follow the YouTube videos that are out there.
Throwing shade at you about it, but I'm just saying, Geek.
Yeah. and drop in your own 1 terabyte drive for less.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it, right? Because
Okay,
you're
so
saying
hold on a second. Mark, I'm going to say
that's the
something
Linus.
completely honest. I used to respect Linus Tech Tips. I have unfollowed Linus Tech Tips because recently all their stuff is clickbait, one-sided, and they're only showing parts of what needs to be shown. So over the last year and a half, I've lost a lot of professional respect for Linus Tech Tips, and he completely lost me when he did the bull crap that he pulled with the warranty crap on their screwdriver and their backpacks and the comments and belittlement that they did. He showed insensitivity to his community, and it reminded me greatly of artisan computers, artesian computers. And
I'd
so
almost
I
forgotten
am
about them.
done. I don't think,
No,
I think that he has staff that is knowledgeable, and I think they occasionally put out something worthwhile, but there's too much clickbait. They're too full of themselves, and I don't follow them at all. There's plenty of other people I can follow. Steve at Gamers Nexus, Paul's Hardware. Those two guys are really down to earth. Jay's 2 cents is starting to get back into, Steve at Gamers Nexus and all them. Those guys are great. They publish all their stuff. They're not biased. They even came out and did an article, did a YouTube, 2 YouTube videos specifically aimed at Linus Tech Tips, and they said, hey, look, we're friends with him, but the gloves are off. We're not going to treat or show any favoritism to him. Jay's 2 cents said the same thing. Now, I lean more towards like Gamers Nexus and to Paul's Hardware, where they're truly focused on the hardware side of things and some gaming. I also started following Bearded Hardware. He's not as active, by say, but when he gets into overclocking, which is what I'm trying to learn, I would love to do a live stream where I have some liquid nitrogen here and just try to figure that out. Jay is 50-50, and I think he's struggled for his identity being lost when we went through the hardware apocalypse. Speaking of Unforsaken Jay, have an idea for a podcast next Friday.
Okay,
Tech
I
streamers.
was looking at the stuff for the Steam Deck since you'd mentioned it.
Yeah, we could do
And
a
because
podcast dedicated
there's not
to tech streamers.
There's not really much difference in the storage. Like, I mean, like, because you bought the 512 one, right? But you replaced it anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's no point in doing that if you're just going to replace the storage anyway.
Yeah.
You just get the 399 one and replace it.
By the way, it supports the 2 terabyte. And the reason I say right now mine has a 2.5 in it is because it's got a half a gig at micro SD in it. As soon as Micron or Crucial ships
you could add
the
one of those,
1.5,
right?
yeah, I've got 2 of them coming. As soon as they come, that's going to give me 3.5 terabytes. I know people with gaming computers that only have a terabyte of storage.
Well, I mean, I know somebody that has like 100 gigs on their PC, so.
Do you need another hard drive?
No, have you talked?
Oh,
Slaps?
we're talking about. I know who we're talking about. Like, never mind. I know exactly who we're talking about.
Oh,
He's like, I got to install this game and install this one if I want to play with you guys. Yeah, that person. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
I know Slaps not here, but I hope he watches this later. And Slaps, do you have a minute to talk about your storage? I do that to him every time I get to see him.
Oh, so they hit me. I'm
Always
going to hit the. Oh, I'm not in. Dang it! I'm not in OBS. I can't hit timestamp. I'll say. Let me see. Mark this at 9 o'clock into the video. What are we lengthened to this? YouTube doesn't do it. Hold on. Somebody clip this. If somebody in my chat and Twitch chat can clip this for me, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, because just asking Slaps, do you have a minute to talk about your storage?
Yeah, so we can make. I would love to make that into a short.
He is. I know he's so tired of hearing me do it. That's why I continue to do it because I played him the other time with it, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about Destiny, and I was like, so Slaps. I was like, I got a really important question. He was like, well, what is it? He's like, it's about storage. I was like, no. He was like, okay. So we thought it was about Destiny. I was like, do you have a minute to talk about your storage?
Yeah, I think it would be great.
I think we go back and forth all the time with each other.
But I think pricing now is coming down enough. What I'm really intrigued by is we're also going to see a drop. What we talked about during the tech segment, we didn't really talk about, is the M2 drives. You're you're going to see a pricing change because you're now going to have PCIe 4 versus PCIe 5, right? And we're starting to see the 1 terabyte M2s drop to consistently under $100. So I really think that we're going to have a good storage options again. Like the new system I build is nothing because the motherboards that I'm looking at have 4 M2 slots on them, right? And luckily with the pricing that we can get on the M2s, the 2 PCIe 5 slots and the 2 PCIe 4 M2 slots, I will probably run a couple of PCIe 5 1 terabytes and 2 terabyte PCIe 4 slots, which will give me 6 terabytes. Also, something that I'll be talking about, not this coming week, but the week after, I might talk about it next week, is some benchmarkings and stuff that were done with changes to M2 storage. RAID is now dead. You don't RAID M2 drives anymore.
So another question that should be asked for you. What SSD did you end up using for your Steam Deck?
Micron has one. It's crucial. Let me get a link. I'll find the link. Hold on.
No, I mean, just for anybody that wanted to know, I figured the best thing to do was just
crucial.
Just in case anybody was curious.
It's just a crucial short M2 drive.
Well, I figured just in case anybody was curious about buying it, because then they could figure out how much it was going to cost altogether to get the cheap Steam Deck.
You're going to have to get
go from there.
This one you can't get this one.
Well, so what you're saying is, I'll get you to get it, and then I'll get it.
Yeah, but you can go if you want to get one for the Steam Deck. You can go out and get it's the short M2 that I think they're 2400s. Yeah, it has to be short because the Steam Deck's not that big. But I end up with the 2400. So my laptop has 2 NVMe things on the main board. One is already things. They're called slots or bays, whatever you want to call them.
That's good.
But yeah, so.
Okay, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Because it took me, when I typed that in, it took me to the Micron ones. Oh, I see that. Oh, they do go up to a 2 terabyte in that size. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
But,
I mean, terabyte one was plenty.
Yeah.
No, I was just. Yeah, I was just curious about it because, since we were talking about it, I was just like, I'm halfway into a Coors Light talking. All right.
That works.
Yeah, that normally seems to happen. He's not halfway into a tall boy, so don't worry about it. Geek's good.
Yeah. I'm into a second can of Zoa.
Yeah, I finished my thing and still haven't.
But
yeah,
where were we?
Talk about that Micron SSD a little later.
But I think the SSDs. But again, Steam Deck, I think there's going to be a beautiful option for it.
But the other thing too is like, so for me, right, for Steam Deck, it's the reason it kind of works too is because, like, yes, I like playing my JRPGs, but I don't like having to turn on my PC to play them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And since they will work on it and they're not like extremely intensive for anything, it'd be kind of great to use one instead.
Yeah.
Well, plus, it's a little bit easier to carry that with me down to GCX instead of lugging this thing down to GCX.
Right. So I get about it, depending on the game and what I'm trying to do, I get a little over 2 hours, maybe 2.5, right? And people, that's not a long time. Well, for mobile gaming, actually, to me, that is. But I do have a battery pack that I can hook up to it that gives me more like 4 hours.
Definitely, man.
And it's not a big battery pack.
See, the way that I feel, though, too, man, is like 2 hours seems to kind of be like a good number because then you can take a break, instead of staring at the whole thing all the time. So, I mean, I don't really see a problem.
But
with that at all.
what a lot of people also don't understand about the Steam Deck is the fact that you hit the button on the top to go to desktop mode. I can run Windows 11 on it, and I can run the Linux version on it, which is just the interface. I have my web browsers. I can do computer stuff on it. I can do anything that mostly I do on a laptop, but I'm doing
Yeah,
it from the Steam Deck.
definitely.
And if I'm in that mode, my battery life goes up quite a bit to like 3 hours. So I can send emails, check stuff. I can watch YouTube if I want.
It's the convenience thing though too.
Yeah. So it really is pretty convenient. And the dad's going to make a comment on it. Really awesome parental controls. Not just the gaming stuff, but the stuff that you can set the counts on it.
Gonna drop in on that one.
But so I do like it. I mean, I'm able to play my Xbox games on it, xCloud, Steam, Epic, and even some Switch games. So you show me one mobile platform that does all of that. Now that said, like you have Razer that brought out their partnership new flagship phone, that the gaming phone that they paired up with Verizon on. You're going to see a lot more stuff in the comments. I remember, was it Twitter? I was in a conversation with somebody. We were talking about cloud gaming and all that stuff and what direction it's going. Might have been commenting on like Paul Tassie's or something.
The Razer phone.
Yeah. Who's ready for mobile gaming in the cloud?
Because okay,
yeah,
the Razer phone 2 is the one you're talking about.
But yeah,
again, so I'm looking at it right. So a lot of the reviews for this phone though is like a lot of people still aren't filling this thing.
Yeah, no, Celia had the original one. We didn't,
because Geek, you do remember that I've got the Note Ultra 20, right? The big Note, and you can play a game on it, and guess what? It doesn't get hot. You can play that, like leave it on there for hours. It doesn't get hot, and the camera's not a mess.
Doesn't get hot. But what it leads more conversation to, what's kind of comes back to Stadia.
Though, you're gonna kind of start seeing more mobile gaming anyway, though, dude.
I think we're gonna see more cloud-based gaming.
Yeah, I think so. Gaming, it's still to a point that you can still play it on your phone. You know, like what was it? Xbox did a while back.
The xCloud, the Beta xCloud.
Yes, yeah, that.
Yeah, which a prime example. So we have a game that we were wanting to talk about because there's games and we do talk about games, believe it or not.
Sometimes so Grounded, we talk about games. Let's rephrase.
Yeah, full release came out on the 27th, and my kids and I absolutely love that game. We found out something with the full release versus the demo on the Xbox One X, which is in the bedroom. The only way to play the full release of Grounded is via xCloud. Okay. And Calvin plays it just fine in here. Gabby plays it in the xCloud in there. There's no latency issues. That is really, really surprising to me. And the quality, there's no pixelization. The very first load in, when you load into the game for the first time, every time you launch it, you're just going to get up and walk away for about 30 seconds. It gets everything synced up. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit laggy. It's going to feel a little off. But after like 30 seconds or so, I can't tell the difference. I've tested it out. So I've also done because I used the Steam Deck to launch Destiny 2 in xCloud. Okay. And a few other games. And it's phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to play first-person shooters on my Steam Deck, but I can do bounty stuff and I can do some farming and
like turn in some stuff fine. Or little stuff like that, or or doing like some like you could play Octopath on it, something like that, or Trails of Mana.
I've done quite a bit of time on Octopath. Octopath is the go-to game when I'm going to bed, and I got the Steam Deck there, and I'm just playing it an hour or two. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, I need to go to sleep. Whereas like Ni no Kuni, I play here on the PC.
Yep, I remember that.
And then we have some other games that are coming out. Kids and I are going to be playing Grounded tomorrow. We put a lot of hours already into the game. So the fact that the full game has come out now, we'll just finish that up.
I'm going to comment on that one for him. No Iron Banner for him.
Or Trials.
You can't. you can't see it right now, but there's this thing right here is actually my Iron Banner plaque that's sitting behind me. I forgot now since I blurred everything. You can't see it, but you can still see the color of the kill tracker ghost.
Yeah.
Mark, his version of PvP is I really hate to do this to myself to do these 3 missions and I'm out.
Yeah, I barely do. I do the bare minimum required and I'm done. Like I would have more of the seasonal triumphs challenges done, but I don't do PvP. I don't see a need for it. And when you have an exotic quest,
Hey, his version of PvP is like Stadia. It's just going to disappear.
yeah, I think yeah.
I had
Yeah. But speaking of that one, I really want to see competition come out against. I do our other grenade launchers. I'm just glad I got Touch of Malice first week. I didn't even have to worry about it. I've done. I don't know how many runs with CB now. We've run 3 clears every week with CB to try to get him his Touch of Malice, and he still doesn't have a touch. Sweat still doesn't have one. JJ doesn't have one, although I don't run much with JJ. Mr. Easy doesn't have one right now. There's a few people that are no, they run it like crazy. And then we run Callie through her first King Paul's raid, and she gets it on the first clear. So, what I'm really
Day PvP is a dread.
Oh, Pork Chop, what's up, Pork? Yeah, Pork Chop doesn't have it yet. We need to get you through a couple of King's Falls. Hopefully before everyone's
Hey,
everyone's burnt out. I mean,
I've got it. I've got it on D1.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so
D1. That's what matters.
The reality is, well, let me rephrase that.
What are you rephrasing?
I'm trying to formulate it correctly without sounding like a complete prick.
So what he's saying is he's going to sound like a prick when he's saying this, but he doesn't mean it like a prick.
The crybabies out there,
there you go,
saying weapons are overpowered, need to shut the hell up and let us have fun.
Okay, so
whether it be raid weapon, whether it be PvP weapons, or whatever is
to understand is
because they nerfed Touch of Malice already. They say they fixed it, or all of a sudden they had to fix rockets and all this stuff. I'm so tired of it.
The
OP weapons, let us have fun. Let us have fun. So again, that's why I'm hoping First Descendants, which is going to be free to play, their open beta comes out.
I don't know. Let's get a date on that, Geek.
October 20th, which I'm signed up for. Anyone can sign up for it. Where is the? Let me get a link for it here. Let me pull that up. I think this is their website. It takes a minute. Is this it? Doobie-doobie-doo-ba.
Bob says he doesn't have touch either.
Yeah, but Bob's gotten a run. I know Bob's done 1 clear of King's Fall, right, Bob? Pretty sure he's done. Well, I would love to pull it up.
Ran King's Fall since D1,
but apparently their website's taking a while to load.
Is it?
Yeah.
You said it was the second, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's be cross-platform, cross-play. I don't know if there's going to be PvP in it or if it's just open world RPG shooter. Do I say it's a Bungie killer? No. But it's free, unlike Outriders. How much content there's going to be, replayability, we have no idea.
We don't talk about Outriders like that.
Yeah.
After it came out for that little bit of content.
With the expansion, it's not bad. For the amount of money that it costs, it's worth it. But it's a standalone. It's a playthrough. It's not. It's co-op, which I love.
It's not something I want to keep going back to, though.
Yeah. I want it. More and more games, I want co-op. Outriders brought co-op, and $1 for time spent in hours. It was good, right?
Hey, look,
it had some.
At the end of the day, right? if they could have just gave me like 4-player Skyrim,
Yeah.
and that would have been it, without all these extra hoops to jump through.
Well, yeah, I do understand that Xbox is working with the Bethesda team to make that a reality, by the way, just to incorporate it. I don't know how well that'll be because you have the biggest player base is console still, not PC. And the only people that can do the mods are PC. So that wouldn't be something they could easily port over to, say, PlayStation or Switch. But since Xbox is more and more evolving into supported for like Windows 11, those mods would work. You get them working well in Windows 11, you could probably get it working pretty good under Xbox. So I'll see how that goes. There might be an exclusive co-op play. Microsoft would be extremely smart if they worked with Bethesda and released a Skyrim 4-player co-op. Could you imagine that? That would be insane. I would pay $20 just to get a stable version. I'd pay $30. Skyrim is one of my all-time favorite games.
But Geek, you can mod the PS4 for Skyrim.
Yeah, but the mods used on that are different from the PC and the
I mean,
Xbox
you
mod
can't
set.
do like Thomas the Train thing, but you can still mod it to an extent.
But you can't get the mods in there for
I can on
because
Xbox.
on the Xbox, yeah, but on PlayStation for like the co-op stuff that's going to be required, there's just no way.
Yeah, but I'm saying the workaround for Xbox would still work, but
Yeah. So I think that would be really, really smart on their part. But again, I don't know.
it'd still be cool to do.
Yeah, I am signed up for the beta.
Okay.
First Descendant, and we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited. People say, well, it's ripped off part of Destiny. Some of the developers that helped Descend are former Bungie employees. I'm not going to lie. They don't have any qualms hiding that. So you do have some feel and some vibe to it. But I don't believe they took stuff from different games and then put their own spin on it and everything else is perfectly fine. They are using an Unreal Engine 5. So I expect a lot better graphics performance than what we get out of Bungie. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do with that on the 20th of October. That will be an open beta that can be streamed. There was a closed beta that I was told thank you, but no thank you to because I'm not a big enough streamer. But I know I do know a couple of streamers. They haven't talked anything about it. They got to do it and provide feedback. So we'll get to find out more about the game on the 20th. I will be streaming that though. I have seen VR chat maps with better graphics than yeah. D2 that's this. It's an example of why there needs to be a D3, or a lot of these games need to migrate off of old engines to new engines, especially with the 3000 series, the 6000 series from AMD, the RDNA 2, the RDNA 3 that's coming out in the 7000s, the RTX 40s. Yeah, if you're stuck in the past, it makes really. I use we'll use Cyberpunk as an example, right? Game saw a huge resurgence, all the patches, the fixes they've done. The Netflix series Edge Runners, not for kids, by the way. Great series, not for kids though, by any means. Do not let your kids watch it.
Noted.
No.
For everybody here, I'm sure they have noted that now.
Yeah, not for kids. But the game is fantastic now. But one of the problems that they had huge issues with was trying to develop a next generation game to work on old generation engine, software, and hardware, aka PS4, Xbox One, older games, older hardware, older OS kind of issues.
Sure.
So if you forget about trying to support the old and only focus on the new, you're going to have a lot better go. So I would love to see developers like Bungie saying, okay, yeah, it's time to put the nail in the coffin, bury Tiger, or whatever old engine they're using, and move to a globally supported one like Unreal 5, where there's a dedicated team that does enhancements to the engine itself. And then all of a sudden you only have to worry about your game. That's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the engine. You just worry about the game. and how well it works on that engine, and then working with the engine developer to say, hey, we would like to see these improvements. We found these bugs, whatever it might be. Just saying, life would get a lot easier, at least in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm an old grumpy get off
so
my
it
lawn
seems,
gamer.
so the reviews have definitely changed since the game is like done its kind of like the anime since that came out.
Mhm.
Like it's changed quite a bit for how people are actually feeling
On which one?
it. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I've got it loaded. I know Callie's playing through it right now. I reloaded it on the PC. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
the
I think I'm gonna do
performance,
it.
night and day difference compared to what I had
I see. I
before.
haven't played it since everything was so iffy with it, so
Mhm.
I might actually go back because since I do have it, but I just
Yeah,
like
Genome, it
because I did
100%.
update it as well, so I might actually go back to it to
Yeah.
see how everything looks on it and everything now.
Yeah. So for me, Genome, there's a couple things that Bungie's doing that I'm really tired of. They use the engine as an excuse. They need to get off of that one. And going back to Stadia,
Yep.
the remote work they're developing the wrong way and testing the wrong way. And they also need to, I think, elevate themselves to better standards. I think every game developer needs to adapt and get off of the old way of testing. Cyberpunk was an example. They used a third-party tester, Q&A, and all this other stuff that skipped a whole bunch of things. There's a really big article on it that broke down where it failed in the process. If game developers would take and invest in some hardware, which is not all that expensive, you can about 70 to 80 grand, you can get a server. So you'll need about 4 of these to emulate a decently sized environment. There's already environments, AI environments that are built that you can adapt to relatively easy. So you can get, say, 4 servers, say about 100 grand all set up and pimped out. So 400K. You're going to have to hire a couple people that understand how to work with that environment, the artificial intelligence and machine learning environment, to take the game and load the data in. You don't need graphics. Now it's got a crap load of GPUs in it, but you don't need the graphics. And you can say, hey, here's this weapon, here's this subclass, here's the abilities, run over and over and over again with these different possible loadouts, these potential perks on there. Run it over and over and over again in this environment, in this environment, in this environment, and give me the feedback. What happens? You have enough behavioral analytics that have been provided by the players over the years to take that data to see what they're doing, what's causing the breaks in the game, to load that into that environment and just say, hey, press the go button, let it run for a couple of weeks and say, holy crap. All of a sudden, them saying, oh, the employees here doing 4 hours a day couldn't emulate what we get in day one when we release to the public. I get that. I completely understand that, and I completely agree with it. But I also think that's this archaic way of doing things, and they need to innovate and go next generation. There's a lot of game developers, a couple that are actually doing that now, and they're having way less bugs because they can emulate environments so much faster. 100%. These things need to happen with these. Yeah. So, and especially since Bungie bought them now, or Sony bought them, they got Sony money up the wazoo.
Definitely. So I mean, you should see something, from it.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been playing. We're gonna play Grounded this weekend.
Okay.
And then once we're done with that, I want to check out Valheim on the X Pass. I don't know who all it says X Pass, but it's co-op as well. I want to do their survival mode, which is less aggressive towards like end game stuff. You just get to play with your friends, build a base, go out and do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know
Kind
if
of like No
100%
Man's Sky. If you play
not
the
as
regular
robust.
mode.
Yeah, not as robust.
Okay.
A little more
trying to see
simplified.
where we're at. Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, it's what it is. But
Nope.
I need stuff. I need stuff that's gonna to hold me over. And the other games, the Valkyrie one doesn't come out till November.
So what about this Medieval Dynasty game?
Which one?
That's the actual name of Medieval Dynasty.
Is it on Steam?
It's on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. It's a single
Is it
player
in-
game though.
Is it in the X Pass?
No, it's just a game that's coming out October 6th. It's a future game, geek. It ain't out yet. It's on its way.
Oh, I'm looking. What's it called?
Medieval Dynasty.
It's a survival game.
Well, I mean,
Is that
since
on
you
S-
said it,
Yeah, it's going to be on Steam as well.
I was just wondering what you were thinking about it, since you were talking about survival on the other one. So,
Oh, it already released on Steam.
yeah, I see that. It's releasing then on the console, but see what
The
people
graphics
think about
look pretty decent. So
Yeah, I mean the reviews for here is not horrible either. Like, yeah, some people are not there, and then some people are enjoying it. I mean,
no, there's not going to be any audio, guys. I know there's no audio. We know we're going to get in trouble with playing the audio on here and everything, but we shouldn't. But
I mean, definitely.
is this a trailer? This looks like in game? That's much better graphics for survival game than I've seen in like Valheim. Grounded is technically a survival game, and it's got some awesome graphics.
No, I
this
just
kicks the
figured
crap
I'd
out of
mention it to you.
Raft. It's a survival. I kind of get a Witcher vibe on it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a survival RPG sim game. No, I just thought you might be interested to look at it since you were talking about survival game there, so that's why I mentioned it. Because I remembered it was coming out on console, but I forgot that it would even came out on PC.
Yeah.
No, I just thought you might be interested in.
I might have to
Give it a
check it
look.
out, but it depends on the cost on the Xbox. If this is something that comes to the X Pass, I definitely check it out. But
I don't know if it will, but
on Steam, I'm not. It's not something I'm interested in paying $35 for.
no. I mean, but I don't know if it's coming to the Xbox or not. It doesn't say that it is
So
or not.
hunt, survive, build, and lead in the harsh Middle Ages. Create your own medieval dynasty and ensure its long-lasting prosperity. You know what it looks like? It looks like Witcher combined with Age of Empires, man.
Kind of.
That's what I get the
It kind
vibe
of
off
does,
of.
but that's why I was still saying something about it, because I was like, it may be something you want to look at to see anyway.
I'm gonna add it to my wish list. Can I add it to the wish list? Why won't it let me add it to the wish list?
Pretty sure you can. I don't see why you couldn't.
Oh, it's because I'm in browser, not signed in. That would explain it.
Yeah, because actually they got a broadcast going on playing it right now.
Yeah. Let me open up my Steam and go to the store.
I mean, yeah, it's
add it.
recorded, but that's fine. Now, I just thought you may be interested in saying it, since you were talking about
I mean, it's holding my intention.
No, I just thought it'd be something a little different too. Yeah, at the same time. So at the end of the day, it's probably worth you looking at.
Official guide. They want $18 for the official guide. Past this, I bet you, since it just came out, it's been out for a year. And it's still holding at $35. I bet you that when like discounts come out during Christmas and stuff, I'll be able to pick this up. If I can get it for 20, I might check it out.
All right, Geek. The second one I want you to look at is Lost Eidolons.
Lost what? Lost? How do you lost? Idle what? Eidolons. Eidolons.
Yeah, you know what? I had it on all as well. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
That's
I'll
on
make
Steam too.
Mm-hmm. But I want to see like what you thought this one would feel like to you.
What is this one? Lost Eidolons is a turn-based tactical RPG with gripping cinematic narrative set in a waning empire riven by
kinda gives me
civil war.
kind of a Fire Emblem feel
Okay.
in the term and the way that it does the battle.
Graphics look decent. Character transmog looks decent. Has Dishonor combat kind of a style.
Yeah. But I mean, it's another solo game, but I just figured you might want to.
See, I'm tired of the solo games. This would be something I'd like to have a 4-man squad with.
Yeah.
You know?
But this is just another one that I had seen that I figured I would mention as well.
So it's classic turn base.
Yeah, so this like right
What was the
there
one I
that
was-
they're showing. See how it's got the thing like this?
Yeah.
This is like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, what was the one I was telling you the other day that was on sale? Oh, Pathfinders. Pathfinders as well, which is a lot
Pathfinder, yeah, I
more
remember that.
robust. But
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Let's see.
yeah,
Because it was yeah, that's right. We just was that the other day or was that today?
that was yesterday.
Was it?
Yesterday, maybe day before. It was the last 2 days.
It was the Pathfinder thing.
Yeah,
And
because it was on
it's
sale.
the,
It's on sale through October. So let me pull that one up. Pathfinder.
It's just yeah, because the base game is just the
Yeah.
Kingmaker.
Yeah, this is the Mythic Edition.
It's a single player game too.
Yeah, that's my
Gripe with that one again.
again. I have Boulder's Gate that can give me something similar to play, but for $20, it's got good graphics, good movement, good story development. But again, I have Boulder's Gate, and there's Diablo.
Got Diablo on the console, so play it on Xbox.
Yeah. So what I was thinking about doing too, is going to Grog or whatever that site is, and $10 getting the original Diablo 1, because for some reason Blizzard can't host D1. Something to do with rights or everything else. Doing streaming a playthrough of D1 and then doing a stream through of D2's Resurrected on the campaign, and then doing the campaign stream on D3. But that's only going to happen once we have an official release date for Diablo 4, so I can space those all out. So, yeah, as trying to figure that one out. So, but because there's not a lot of games out right now. Well, luckily we've got a few things. My wish list has got
definitely. 'Cause, we can look at that site a little bit later and see if you can't find it. No, I was just looking at some of the games that were upcoming releases stuff that I thought may have stood out in the next, like kind of like month ish area, and so that was just a few things that
I've got
came up with when I started looking.
Yeah, so ones that are catching my eye right now, we have One Piece Odyssey coming out January 12th.
Yep.
Which I'm looking forward to. We have Hogwarts Legacy coming out February 10th.
I thought that was in January too.
No, it's February.
Maybe I'm probably thinking of something else.
No.
It's just
we have Ragnarok on PS5.
Yep.
Which is what, November, I think.
Is it November?
November 9th.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a month. So whatever.
So you got a month, huh?
Yeah, we got a month to figure that out. But we've got, what do we got? October, you've got, we'll pull up the list. Hold on.
That's
Let me
what I was
share
doing.
this. Let me share this screen.
It's fun.
This is just for stuff coming out in October. I'm not familiar with Dark Car Desert Rally. It's probably a car game, I'm assuming. Cancel.
Okay.
Overwatch 2. Not a big Overwatch 2 person. I never really got an Overwatch. Deathverse, I'm not familiar with. Anyone's familiar with these, feel free to chime in.
Yeah,
Do you know Deathverse?
I don't know
But
if
it doesn't sound like something I'm interested in. They beat the crap out of Nier Automata. It's been out for a while. Okay, I get it. They're just milking it. It's on the Switch. Fantastic. Triple
all right,
Take,
so
not familiar
that's a survival game, geek.
with. Okay.
I'm looking at now. It's
Deathverse is?
yeah, it's a
Okay.
seismic natural disaster known as the Earth Rage sent the world into upheaval. Now, 700 years later, so I'm watching a little bit of it now. It looks like it looks like can't really say for certain what kind of game that I feel like it is. So it looks like it's a 16 battle thing.
Oh, not my style
Yeah.
then. I'm not into mass things. Survival.
That's
I'm
kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
After looking at it, so that's
It's
what I'm
like
good with.
like Clash of Clans. It was nice at first, but constantly getting into it with other people, I'd much rather do a survival where I'm standalone, going against the computer or something. That's more my cup of tea. So No Man's Sky coming to the Switch. That's cool. Superpower 3. No More Heroes. PGA Tour. Lego Brick Tales. I'm tired of the Lego games. I'm sorry. They haven't done anything really
There's
to
so
improve on them.
many.
It's
Those
just the
games.
same game, different skin. So until they do something to do that, yeah. Time Melter's not for War Pips. Fueled Up. That's another car game. Eternal Cylinder Car. Lost Lunge we just talked about.
So that triangle
What is-
strategy game may be something that you would like to mess with solo. 'Cause that's what it is.
Okay. What is Sky Ritual? Nope, not my cup of game. The spiritual successor to the award-winning horror game Made of Skier. I don't do horror games.
Well, I mean, plus your kids can play it. So
Yeah. So what is triangle? You said triangle strategy?
yeah, that might be something for you to like to play.
Triangle
So
strategy
Dane is
is
saying not many that I can say catches his eye at first read over.
Nintendo
This may be something you like.
Switch. Strategy.
I wasn't sure if you'd like it or not, but that's why I was like, you may like it.
Oh, that's an old one. It's like, okay, that is a throwback to more Final Fantasy, Octopath, maybe Chrono Trigger. I might like that. Yeah, I might do
that's
that.
why I mentioned it, because I figured
Yeah.
it might be something for you to dive
WRC
into.
Generations. I'm not interested in the Dragon Ball games. Oh no,
Okay.
going to hell. There's enough of them. Their play style and the
man.
mechanics on them, I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea.
No, it's all good.
What is Destiny's Sword?
I
It's
have
not
no
Destiny
idea,
2.
man.
It's not Destiny
It's Destiny 3.
2. Yeah. I'm not interested
See what you
in
got there.
PGA Tour or anything like that. So
Are you sure, man? I thought you'd like PGA Tour. But
Destiny Sword is the squad-based combat strategy MMORPG that combines exciting cinematic combat with unique social
all right,
game mechanics.
let's see a video on this one, geek.
Mass Effect 1 graphics.
Yeah. Huh, yeah. That game's gotta be free.
That's a hard pass from me.
Yeah.
Thanks. That is a super hard pass. Sorry. Plague Tale. That one is a horror movie.
I feel like they went backwards with that by a
Again,
lot.
developer graphics budgets. I get that, but
Yeah, it's for me
it could be
to
a good
actually
game.
want to play that with a lot of people though. It's,
Yeah,
for the style of game that I can play now, over that it's not gonna make me go back and play it, honestly.
Plague's Tale, it's a horror game. I'm not into it. Marvel Snap. I'll let other people play and let me know because Marvel's burned us so much in the past. I really
Hey Dane, since you've heard about Marvel Snap, why don't you give us a quick rundown of it?
send that and we'll see if they've got a trailer for it. I'm very apprehensive about Marvel
Well,
Snap.
while you were gonna look at it, I figure Dane wanted to give us a quick. Yeah. He said Gotham Knights is a hit and miss.
I'm holding off on Gotham Knights. I've watched some prelay stuff, story holes. They've got glitch latency issues. I'll wait.
No, it's all good.
Marvel Snap. What is this? Okay. What is this? Just PvP? You play as somebody and go against somebody, or what? Oh no. That's got like a Dragon Ball.
Hearthstone? No.
Yeah,
Really
Hearthstone
like
kind of vibe. It's kind of got like the Seven Deadly Sins card game.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of. That's
what I was
not. It
actually-
might be fun for people, but that is not. My
It's-
kids don't enjoy that stuff, and I don't enjoy it.
So I mean, yeah, for some people that may work out, but for
Yeah,
Geek as it stands, it's
Pokemon
like,
kind of. Yeah, Pokemon.
it's not what he's looking for.
Yeah.
For what he's going to play though. So I mean, it just depends.
Fighting herds. If this is a cattle-based game like Goat Simulator, somebody shoot me.
Geek, you gotta do it now.
I don't want to. I'm afraid. Oh, it's a Switch game. That's why.
Yeah. No, I was like, you have to look at it now. There you go, Geek.
Dude, it's freaking My Little Pony. Oh my god, it's My Little Pony. No, I'm not showing this to Gabby. Oh no. Maybe no. No. All it is, it's like Street Fighter or something, fighting against each other. Yeah. My kids will get so bored with that so fast. Hard pass. I get you.
Geek. It's all right. We'll hit that Genome's comment to that one.
Yeah. This one, I'm.
Oh man.
You'll never catch me playing Valorant. They are intrusive to your environment with their anti-cheat. So good luck on that one. You will not see me.
So hey, Dane said to that Marvel thing, that's not what they initially showed at all. What we watched.
Yeah, dude. As I said before, Marvel's switching baits all the time. Not touching
it. I like this one from Mark for that game that we just looked at.
ML Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Okay. So the last hero of nostalgia is a satirical action adventure. Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got here.
After these ads. I hate ads.
Oh man.
All right, IGN.
All right.
You're a stick figure.
Dark Souls. No, now
hey, we're not a stick figure anymore. We have evolved.
You have evolved.
Oh, so this is just a placeholder while they're developing graphic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that because you get to change stuff. All right, cool. I see that. I don't know. I kind of like. Oh, it'd be kind of fun to be a stick figure, though. Probably do that.
Yeah. Okay, that was cool. Okay, that was different.
Geek Rainbow Road.
Yeah, it reminds me of part of like the Mario Odyssey and stuff where you flip back and forth. So that's kind of different. That I don't really care. Stand by. If it's free to play, I might check it out. Possibly. Uncharted, I'm going to be playing. Been looking forward to that one on PC. Yeah, I'll play that on PC. I enjoyed it. Valorant, not. Lost Haven, what is this?
I have no idea, but it comes out
Yeah, I'm
in
just
20
looking at
days.
I'm just looking at October games.
No, I figured we'll just talk about October games for a little bit. Give us an idea.
Interplanetary. What?
Action RPG.
All of a sudden now I have Beastie Boys Intergalactic stuck in my head.
It kind of looks like a Dauntless vibe
Yeah,
from the look.
it definitely got a Dauntless vibe to it,
Yeah,
or
definitely does.
more Dauntless than Terra. No,
Yeah.
I'd say Dauntless.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
mostly
much more
Dauntless vibe.
cartoony. Dauntless crossed with Ratchet and Clank, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no. Dauntless crossed with Spyro, with the purple dragon cartoon dude. Spyro.
Yeah, that's the name of it. Spyro. Yeah.
That because of the puzzles and the movements and stuff. That's exactly what it looks like to me.
Dan says Geek needs more tabs open.
I close them as I open them. Leave me alone.
No, you know why he said that, right? How many you got up there?
Well, I could close this one. I can close the Stadia one. I can close that one. Microns, First Descendant.
It's all right, Dan. Look, we're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, so we know what that is now. All right.
Yeah. It might be some of the kids. No, I don't even know if the kids like it. I mean, it's hit and miss. I usually go to my kids
It's
to get an
gonna
idea
have to be
of,
like how your kids feel about like they'll look at it.
Yeah.
It gives you a better idea if they actually
Dude,
want
I
that.
could tell you that I could tell you right now my kids saw the trailer for this one and they were like, no. They are so tired of this this kind of mix mash matchup stuff where you've got the rabid rabbits and all that stuff. They're just destroying, just doing it for the sake
Man, I
of
think
doing it.
the
and they're
last
tired
time
of
I
it.
had seen those rabbit things were probably like on the Wii, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Mark, I got
it's
my
been a
vault down
while.
to 300. But yeah, so I'm the rabid rabbits after the first two games. They're like, we don't care anymore. It's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. And my kids, when a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old are tired of gimmicks, you know it's been done too much. Warhammer, Gotham Knights, New Tales from Borderlands. Is this like Borderlands?
Just go look at it. Simplest thing I could tell you.
Is this Gear? Yeah. Nope. Done. Pass.
That didn't take
Persona
long
5, both Jay and I are looking forward to. Persona 5 comes out on the X Pass.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say that I've already played it.
Well, yeah, you played it on
PlayStation, but I'm gonna put it on PC this time.
Yep.
This time around, anyway.
So yeah, Persona 5 I'll be doing. It's going to be on the X Pass. Scorn is another horror movie. Looks really, really good. Probably not something I'm going to play. I'm not into a horror genre. But it's got decent reviews on it. No one's played it yet, so we'll find out on the 21st. Horse Club Adventures. I'm just going to tell you from the name of it, I'm not going to bother looking at it. Victoria 3. I haven't heard of Victoria 1 or 2, so no reason for me to look at it. Moonshine. No clue, no bother to even looking.
The only thing I think of when I see that is just it's going to be literally a moonshining game,
or like Stardew Valley or something.
I mean, tell you what, you keep going. I'll look it up.
Saturnanil. I can't even say it. What?
Nope, geek. I was right. It's literally what I thought it would be. The moonshine game is literally you making moonshine. And they tell you, remember, nothing is legal till you get caught.
Gotcha. So
I don't see myself playing that. It doesn't seem that interesting. So
it's like Bo and Duke Luke trying to deliver moonshine and not get caught. Good to go. I'm not playing it. Survival horror adventure game. Not even bothering with that one. I can't even say it. Star Ocean. Both Jay and I talked about last podcast.
As it stands right now, I haven't tried the demo for it yet, so
I've got it loaded. I will do the demo tomorrow. I might stream the demo since I can hook it up to my Elgato.
That'd be great.
Bayonetta 3.
And I know what the hell it looks like.
Yeah. I'm not too interested in Bayonetta. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I already watched the beta for it. Cool. Factorio. Not interested in it. Live by the sword.
Yeah, Dane, the game is literally about moonshiners, like I thought
Yep.
it was. So if y'all interested in moonshining, there you go, boys and girls.
What is this?
It says it's a tactics game.
Some people might like that. My kid brother used to like those.
Mark says he wants to play moonshine. Actually, this does look like a Katega's game.
Yeah, it does. It does.
As soon as I seen this is
This is Final. This looks like Final Fantasy Tactics.
He would
Just
play
a different skin. Okay, yeah.
I'd see him play
this.
them out.
I like the old school games, like the Final Fantasy games, the Chrono Trigger, the Octopath and stuff. This I don't like. I'm not a big tactics person.
I think he would like that though.
Yeah. The Unliving.
Oh,
I take a guess.
Dave.
It's a zombie game. Oh no, parents won't have issues with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, when they find their kids making moonshine.
I want to bet this is another zombie game. Let's beat the crap out of cartoon zombie games.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah. Look, it's Plants vs. Zombie. Just not zombie. It definitely looks like a mobile game brought to PC. I'm a hard pass on that. In this day and age, let me say, I get indie developers and graphics are limited. I would much rather play that one that felt like Mass Effect 1 than this. Develop using a new engine.
They'll blame their games on everything if they can, man.
Yeah. Framemakers, it's bolded, so that must mean that somebody thinks it's worth it.
Well,
Framemakers is from a Kickstarter company.
Yeah.
It's a side-scrolling game. Bye.
No, geek. It's more like a Smash Brothers thing.
I'll still pass.
I mean, you just play Smash Brothers for that.
Yep. Gunfire Reborn. No. Marauders. Alien. Torchlight Infinite. That.
I have no idea.
Torchlight Infinite.
Oh no,
is that like 2? Torchlight 2 or 3?
I don't really know, dude. Like, they didn't say. Let's see. Let's see what it looks.
What is Torchlight Infinite? I mean, it's got the Torchlight graphics. Mm-hmm. Is it just a mobile? Oh, it's the mobile game.
Yeah.
And it does have micro. I remember watching some coverage on this from Game Awards, Amazon's Game and whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. There's too many transactions, microtransactions, not just skins, but other stuff in it. So I'll pass. That's just Blizzard monetizing again. Is it Blizzard? Somebody owns that. I don't remember who owns it. I just can't.
I don't remember who owns it, actually. The worst part is you just looked it up and you could have told us.
Yeah. That's how much I don't care.
Geek's just thinking about that Moonshine game.
Hey, look, it's Geico. I can't skip it.
All right, so 15 minutes. All right. Well, that thing's seen better
XD
days.
Games. It was Torchlight Infinite. Who owns the IP? Runic Games. Okay. So what is this? Stranded Alien Dawn?
Yep.
I did see this at Amazon at the Amazon Awards or game thing too.
Yep.
I did make a note that this was one I wanted to look at.
Yeah, so far, Dan, it seems pretty decent.
So we crash land and have to colonize, I think. So it's another open world survival.
Yeah, 'cause that's what it kind of looks like because it's just you out there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then you call on it.
that's
Okay.
what it is. All right. Early
Yeah.
access, October 2022. Yeah, that's what it's here.
All right. Well, that's fine.
So I mean, that's interesting to say the least. You know,
Yeah. So that's the
it's
games
about
for that
it.
month. November's got some, but we can go through there. Some of the highlights is going to be Die by the Blade, From Space, King's Hunt, Skull and Bones, which got pushed back. Sonic Frontiers coming out in November. A lot of people like that one. God of War Ragnarok comes out. Daylight 2, Stay Human. I have no interest in that one. We'll talk about all these as November gets closer, I guess.
Definitely when it gets closer, it'd be something more to talk about then. So
Yeah.
I mean, until that point, it's pretty much fun.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. um, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be definitely something to catch the next time around. All right, Geek. It's one thing I got to make you talk about.
Oh, well, yeah.
You've been mentioning
So
that to me a lot, so.
I watched a few
And, you know,
videos on
off
it.
your tweets too, you know, based on the arm and stuff that they're using to hold it. So,
Yeah. So I have the low profile mic arm. I love the arm. I love what it does. They obviously had a reiteration of it because many people complained that the joint supporting the weight of the microphone once you add the shock mount and the pop filter was causing issues. The other thing is I don't really use the Elgato Wave 3 software at all. Since I put everything through NVIDIA Broadcast, I let NVIDIA do all that, and then I use OBS to split out all my audio and everything. I have found I get much better control that way, which might seem counterintuitive, but I found that if I used Wave 3 software and tried to use one device in multiple software applications, I would get conflicts.
that's
So
the
I
issue.
don't
Well,
do
see,
that.
now I can actually confirm that because you got to remember, I've got an XLR mic
Yep.
that uses their Wave XLR little block. When I tried to separate it through that software with one output instead of separating that sound by itself, controlling like that, it was it was playing double audio the entire time.
Yeah. So
And it got to the point where I mean, I guess if I was to really sit down and probably try to separate it like I did have it set up now in OBS, then maybe I could get that work. But the problem with that is I couldn't hear it, but I could still get it to play for everybody else, but I couldn't hear it myself.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't because if I had the sound up too and while everybody else was hearing it, it was playing what I was hearing and what they're hearing over top of each other. And it was not working for me at all.
I found that it was easier for me to use Windows to separate my audio, which is what their interface is built to do, is to access the advanced Windows audio settings. I don't want any of that messed up. I want to be able to split out my music in my stream. I want to be able to control different stuff. And I was able to do all of that with the Steam Deck and with OBS and some Windows settings. So I found a lot easier time. I am interested in having an XLR mic. I would have to get the XLR adapter from Elgato. It's interesting that they're breaking into that space. I think Harris Heller's stream really hit the head on the nail when they said, well, they've already got a device that controls XLR input. Why not have an XLR mic? And so far, several of like the streaming channel people that cover streaming technology specifically, much bigger than I, that actually get stuff sent to them, did some audio reviews. And the fact that I could get rid of the pop filter and get rid of the shock mount and just have the microphone intrigues me, because I'm more about simplification, and the quality of sound sounds really good. Because I had been looking at getting a Roadcaster, right? Because it's $100. All these are around $100.
Yeah, the small one, which is
But apparently the weight difference is pretty good. It's a lighter microphone, so I might be interested in it. I have to be more successful and consistent with my streaming again before I do anything. I have the Wave 3. I still have a Blue Yeti spare. I have another Blue Yeti over here for work. I've got plenty of mics, and the audio quality, I think, for what I do, is plenty sufficient. I can use different things to pick up gain and all that other stuff without issue. So I think we're perfectly fine that way. But I am interested. What I'm really wanting from a microphone, a dynamic or whatever, is dynamic gain, to where I have it set right now. You have to be, I can be a foot to 6 inches from my microphone. Most people are going to hear me good. If I'm here, people are going to hear it really good. If I'm right here, they're still going to hear me, but it might get a little soft. I might have to boost the audio in YouTube uploads. But if you get a dynamic sense that it's tracked and learned your voice, they can pick up your distance and adjust the boost. I think we're pretty close to being able to get that as a software feature or as a functionality. And once you get that, you're going to see some pretty good benefits, I think.
I mean,
Use
like,
my logic.
yeah, I just seen it. Logitech webcam for mic.
I have the Logitech webcam. I'm assuming a 920 or 922C. I'm not really fond of that mic because it doesn't have gain controls.
No, the one thing that I have like Geek is this mic that I have right now.
Yeah.
Which is the Spark.
Yep. It's a good mic.
Yeah.
A lot of people used it.
Plus, when
and it's
you get
affordable.
the thing, when you get the thing on sale, when it's not $200, it's a great price to get it.
And the 720C webcam.
720. Pull that up, would you? Yeah, because Geek did go back up. It's $200 again for that mic.
I think we could see it dropping in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's the predecessor to the 920C.
Is it?
It's the same camera. Yep. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is This is C270. But it 720C. It was, where'd it go? You can't even get anywhere. It was the predecessor to. Let me see if I can get an image for it.
Found a Geek.
Did you? You can go ahead and share it.
No, that one says C505.
Yeah, I think.
Says the problem with those numbers is
it keeps. I ended up getting the Fi-Fi Ampli game. A8 works well for the 40 something dollars.
All right, so see, Jim, I used to actually use back when I started, I used a Fi-Fi mic for a little bit. To be honest, first starting out stuff and everything, and it worked pretty well. So I was actually looking at
Dane, that's a Sony A6400 right
what
there.
happened to your 5100?
I replaced that one with the 6000.
I thought you still had the 5100.
It's in the room where my wife's going to stream from. She's going to stream her crafting, and then I have this one for the 3D printing.
Which Canon is that, by the way?
The M200.
That's what though.
Yep.
I'm still looking for that 720, dude. Just not seeing it.
Bob, you sure it's not a C7 270 that you're talking about?
Yeah, I meant 270. I was like, because I'm sitting here looking for this thing, dude. I was like, maybe I'm just going crazy.
But I do remember a long time ago, a 720 was a Logitech model, but I thought it was a predecessor. But I could be a C7, a C270. I'm thinking Bob's got a C270.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, there you go. I meant 270.
I meant 270. Yeah. So that's the 720p version where the 920s are 1080p.
You know, geek,
That's
I
the
got
only
to do
difference.
this to you from Dane.
It. Yeah, dude. I was talking to Scott Herman
Thanks,
the other
Dane.
day,
Oh man, it's great to
and
see
we're
that.
both looking at the Transformer Optimus Prime, the mechanical one, the robot that transforms and everything with voice commands. They now have it. You can buy it with the trailer that transforms as well. $1,400. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I want to, but I'm not doing it. I love Optimus Prime, but I'm not paying that kind of money.
He thought about it. He thought about it.
I thought about it.
Yeah, he's like, I
Yeah.
thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty dang cool. I've hinted to my wife that she can save up some money and buy it for me, but I don't think that went over too well. But they're working on another version of it that's going to be a little bit more fluent, has more movement to it, which is expected. Just the body is supposed to be $1,200. So if they can get it more fluid, then I'll be like, yeah, exactly, Mark.
So geek, since you mentioned that was the M200, right?
Uh-huh.
So between the M50 Mark II and that one, what's the difference? Like, how much difference would you say for what you're doing with it?
Between the 5100 and the 6.
No, I'm saying for since you have a Canon there, and since the M50 Mark II is out as well, since it came out a year later, what would you say the difference in them is?
When I compared them, the reason we went with this one is now the new one could have the Mark II could have the feature built in. One of the things you have to really look for in the cameras, if you plan to use them for live streaming, is the ability to turn off display and as well as to keep it from shutting off the battery or shutting off after a certain amount of time. A lot of them, like, you'll get 30-minute video and then they'll shut off. So you need the ability to go into the camera and make sure you can set it for streaming. And Canon's done a pretty good job with updating software and controls to allow that. But when I bought the M200 last year, there weren't a lot of options. And that was the reason I went with that. Now, if I could have gotten my hands on another Sony, I probably would do that. The Sony has been phenomenally reliable, and has amazing mirrorless function resolution, and I can put different lenses on it. Really easy to get the clarity I want. I'm going to use Adorama to rent a lens, a macro lens for the Canon that is apparently workable, to see if I can get good macro streaming on it, since I want to use it as a camera dedicated to 3D printing stream. We'll see. My older brother used to build big rigs, and his company built Optimus Prime and real semi. Yeah, those trucks. See, Calvin, after we went to Japan, he actually wants to build Gundams, life-size, functional, transforming Gundams, Robotech stuff, and I bet you he will eventually succeed at it. So that's just my kid. He loves that stuff, and Gabby just wants to play at them and blow stuff up, which makes sense because she's Gabby.
I mean, you can't really be that surprised.
I'm not really. So, but yeah, that covers the games. It covers a lot of the tech. What's up, Spider?
Spider?
How you doing, bud? We talked about Stadia. We talked about cheap PCs, affordable PCs, not cheap. I would say they're anything but like a cheap PC. They're just affordable. We've talked about the ramifications of Stadia, a lot of the games coming out. We'll be tweeting out at some point what you guys think we should use for a podcast name. Why has this not been publicly funded worldwide yet? I do not know. Yeah, so Dane, I don't know if you follow Gundam Base or not, but in Japan, they actually have funding, not just for the Gunpla and the model kits and everything. They actually have a full division, robotics division, devoted to scale size Gundam. I'm not lying. They have a full size, how many ever stories tall set of Gundams that actually move.
That's not really a bad price. I was looking at the A6000.
Oh,
And
The kit, the adapter kit
with the
that you need.
16 to 50, though, what I'm saying, with the 16 to 50 millimeter zoom, it's $649.
Yeah, it's not bad.
As much as I thought it was.
Yep. I can tell you, Glad uses that same camera. He uses an A6000 with a Sigma lens on it for $400, so a wide angle.
Yeah, I remember that lens because who was it? It was somebody else that was talking about it.
Dane, that's the old one. They don't put out the ones until they officially have the new model ready to go, and they only do that every 2 years. So the one that's about to come out the end of this year, or is it Christmas next year? Either way, they have added a lot of movement to it. So just be ready to see
like
that.
the one that you're talking about, like the one that you have, like they recommend that one, or they recommend the A6000, or even the Rebel T7.
Yeah, I like the Rebels, but size, weight, and everything else, I'll stick with the Sony
or the Nikon, the D3500. That's the other one.
I had a D3500. I won't do that. I'll stick with the Sony. Weight and size.
No, I was just saying, as for anybody listening in, for the ones that they had there, that's what they recommend for. But that's the reason I mentioned them. Why? Because you've used them, so I figured why you were there.
I got an associate's degree in photography. A lot of people don't understand that. I used to do a lot of photography. After I went through my divorce, I redid a whole bunch of stuff in my life I always wanted to do. So I got an associate's degree in photography, and that's where I really drew a hard line between photographer and digital artist. I think I learned to do as much right as possible on the camera, and then minor touch-ups in something like Lightroom. That's why I never mastered Photoshop or anything like that. I didn't bother with that. I just really focused on photography, kind of.
Bob says he's going to upgrade his gear in the next few months. Bought some Astro A10s.
So, yep. Anyways, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah, I think we've went over everything that we.
You always say that, God, because you're jealous.
Peak is bad.
Anyways, so we'll be back next Friday, same time, or do you want to go a half hour earlier, Joey?
We can probably go a half hour earlier, if we're not pushing it.
Okay, so 7 p.m. is Central.
Yeah.
We'll be doing your stuff and talking more games. Not sure what we'll have for tech-wise. We'll bring a little bit of tech, but again, I'm going to be doing a separate tech stream dedicated.
It'll really depend on what we have the rest of this week coming up, and that comes out. If anything slides across the table that we see that we want to talk about.
Yeah. But
so I mean,
as you guys see stuff, hit us up. Comments here, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter.
I guess on Twitter with it. All kind of stuff, man.
Yep. We appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, I'll be starting to simulcast. Jay's going to probably start doing the same. So look for us both on Twitch and YouTube, and all that good stuff. Again, you got questions, let us know. We'll see what we can do, and all that good, fun, clear stuff. Now, our podcast, we won't be doing raids because of how they're set up. It's going to be really difficult to do any type of a raid. Just FYI. So anyways, guys, thank you.
From the way it was set up, it'd be a little bit rough to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how it'd work. Anyways, I appreciate everyone hanging out. Okay. And well, I'll check it after stream, Bob. Appreciate everybody. Stay safe out there. We'll see you guys in game, and
have a good night. Stay safe.
Y'all have a great night and enjoy the weekend. Later.